Welcome to the Guild. We have been expecting you. Please, follow me.
Hello, and welcome to our very latest episode of the Night Shift Left Talk Gaming. I'm CMoney, and motherfucking shit, bro, it is time. It is Friday night, and that means our boy is here. That's right. He is the wise one, the author, the patriot, the pony slayer, and the pony bontier maker. It's our boy, Hargeet Shani. Shout out to Hargeet. Thank you for being here, brother. Appreciate you, man. How you doing, bro?
All right. I guess we have some more flopflation fun going on this time.
Oh, so much fun. We have much fun.
Oh boy.
Oh man. This is greatness. Greatness awaits. All right, that's what we're seeing. That's
it awaits. Somebody's laughing at you.
bro. Yo, the stories are crazy. You know what? PlayStation is definitely going to do the most exclusives ever, right? Because they want to make sure that nobody can play their games because nobody's going to be buying that fucking shit box that they have. Oh, my God, that's crazy. Oh, man, what a good time. All right, well, obviously, guys, you've seen the headline and you've seen the title, you've seen the thumbnail, and I'm sure you heard the news. But PlayStation they did a lot of crack. They did a lot of crack. It's real. The cocaína is intense out in these streets, and they thought that they should pretty much, with everything said and done, be the first to $1,000, console with all the accessories that you need to make it happen. It's crazy. I don't even understand what they're doing in this world. It's pretty wild. Low key. Can't quite understand what was in it. What was in the drinks. I don't know if somebody spiked their drinks. I'm not quite sure, but we're definitely into some very crazy territory with PlayStation and what they got going on. In other news, we have so much other dope ass shit. Xbox had a phenomenal showcase we're going to talk about. And there's a lot of other news that we're going to go through. But Hargeet, let me ask you, you were supposed to be at PAX East. Did you go?
Not today. No,
Did you go yesterday?
Was gonna go this evening just to hang out and have dinner, but my mom ended up cooking since I was coming back from a business trip, and so I'm like, fine, I'll just eat at home. So I'll just go in tomorrow.
Nice.
So.
Yeah. So you didn't go Thursday either?
No. I just came back from Vermont. I was on a business trip. So
wow.
I drove back today. So, well, I guess technically, yeah, today. It's still 11:30.
We're still in. We still made it for today.
We're still on Friday, yes. So on Friday. I was just gonna hang out in the evening because I didn't have time to go in. I got back at like 4:00. So
wow. Yeah, that wasn't gonna happen.
All right, well, it's just gonna be dinner. But tomorrow I'll be there all day, and I'll get all the coverage I can and catch up with everyone. So
nice. All right, yeah. I wish I was able to be there, but unfortunately, as duty calls, but mine is the whole weekend. So it's almost like sabotage. You know what I'm saying? They're like, no, CMoney, you're not going to PAX. Sit the fuck down. But yes, listen, I'm excited. Tonight's show is going to be good. I'm very, very excited. It's just funny, the scenario that exists. And, of course, we're not seeing any craziness in the articles, right? And nobody's out here. I haven't seen any PlayStation is dead articles. So, I guess the media hasn't seen the news yet. I don't know. I'm used to them already having hung Xbox out the fucking window already. You know what I'm saying? And before the article would even post it, they would have did it on the rumors. And yeah, apparently there's no hope and dope over here. They don't care. They don't care, guys. It's okay when PlayStation does it. It's not the end of the world. So that is a crazy thing. But before we get into all the fun stuff and the goodness, you know how we have to do. We have to shout out our homies who are live in the building with us, man. Thank you guys for rocking out. We appreciate each and every one of y'all for being here. It means a lot to us, especially on this late Friday night. Normally we go earlier, but I was busy all day and, I didn't have any, I wanted to spend some time with the family for sure before we would do this. So shout out to you guys for rocking out with us. But of course, we want to shout out to everybody. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. And then, of course, we want to shout out everybody who supports us over on Patreon and on YouTube memberships. You guys are the shit. And we thank each and every one of y'all for the support. You guys are awesome. So thank you for that support, but especially the support that we have from our elite members. That's right. We have our homie Dark Angelic, Queen Witch, and Broke Boy. And then we have our inner circle members. We got the homie Pragmatic Eagle, our boy Hargeet, and Marvelous Marvin. Shout out to you guys. Thank you so much for the support. One of the last few episodes where I could talk about the February champs. That's right. Most top threes, best bot of February was our boy Pal, Xbox for Life. Most first super chats was my boy Mac22TH54. Biggest super chat was tied between Ryuar and Pal Xbox for Life. Most biggest super chats was also tied before Ryuar and Pal Xbox for Life. Top 3 most gifted subs came from number 1, Broke Boy, number 2, Spartan661, and number 3, Ryuar, with the most subs gifted at once, our boy Spartan661. So shout out to all of them for being the best in February. But guys, there is this episode and then one more on Tuesday, and that's it. There's your last 2 shots to make a mark to possibly be one of the March champs. That's right. This is the time to do whatever you have to do to make it on this list that plays all month long. So shout out to everybody who's on the list. We appreciate each and every one of y'all. You guys are the shit. That being said, you know how we do here, man. We want to go ahead and shout out everybody who supports us by being here live in the building. That's right. You guys right now are supporting us in such a major way, man. And we appreciate each and every one of y'all for rocking out with us on this Friday night. You guys are all so extremely special to us, and we really do appreciate you. I'm going to let that sink in for a second. Okay. So clearly, when I said you all were special, you are. It's just not at the same level as everybody else. Like, because there's tiers, right? There's like special, and then like not so special, but still special. Okay. You're all so special, but not as special as the top 3. That's right. 3 of you are the specials of the evening. You guys are watching this from up above. Sadly, for the last time. No, I'm just joking. You just got better view. That's right, because you are better than everybody else. Why? Because you guys went ahead and said, holy shit, did that on point bat signal go up? Did on point go fucking live right now? Oh shit, I gotta get in there, and I have to be in the top 3. In the top 3, you were. So shout out to the absolute most specials of the evening. You're all special, but the most specials of the evening are the top 3. First 3 people in the building. The question is, who are these people? Hargeet. Doodle's not here.
Yes.
Are
Sorry.
It's okay. It's all right. Number 3 in the building. we got the motherfucking homie. Our boy. Motherfucking User for Games. Shout out to the motherfucking homie User for Games in the building. Number 3. He's not fucking around. He says hello to all the bots. That's right. To all the bots, indeed. This is where all the bots come together and watch, the good stuff. You know what I'm saying? We come hang out and we chill. That's what it is. Number 3 in the building. User for Games. He's not fucking around. He's not fucking around. Number 2 in the building. You got our motherfucking boy. Mac22TH 54 in the building. He's not fucking around. Mac, you're number 2, dog. You did it. You're the man with the master motherfucking plan. But number 1 in the building. Motherfucking Cage and Vampiro Borracho. Shout out to motherfucking Cage. He's not fucking around. He's the best spot of the night.
You weren't gonna do the OYO.
Oh no, because I didn't know what the fuck to say. What I was gonna say. Oh, is no boom? Those are that's
pictorial version of the same thing.
I gotta tell you, Cage. I thought you wrote Oyo. I was like, oh
no.
That's some shit I'm not gonna say, but apparently, I guess the picture works. Shout out to Cage. He's not fucking around, man. Thank you, brother, for being number 1 in the building. The best bot of the night is you, Cage. You did it. Shout out to the homie. That means there's literally one last show where you can be number 1 or number 2 or number 3. That's right. On Tuesday. That's it. It's the last one of the month. Your last chance to get on this banner. You know who didn't take any chances? He's trying to make sure he keeps his title, his spot on the banner. And that's our motherfucking boy, Mac22TH54, with the first super chat of the night. And coincidentally, the biggest super chat of the night. With that $5 super chat. Appreciate you, my brother. He says, dynamic pricing, console price increase, stock price at all-time low, and pony copium. Hashtag Sony is fine. Hashtag radio silence, laughing my ass off. Shout out to the motherfucking man, Mac22TH54. He's not fucking around. I mean, listen, you ain't wrong. It's a little wild. Dynamic pricing, we haven't really talked about it. That's been around for a little bit now. And I really haven't brought it up as a topic because there's always been like bigger topics that were overshadowing it. And, we just never really got to it. But I'm glad you brought it up because, I understand the method like behind the madness. Like I understand what they're thinking. They're saying, hey, you person who, hasn't bought in a game in a while, what if we entice you by giving you this special lower price, right here that you could buy just for you, right? And that's definitely something that they could do in theory, but the problem is the internet exists. You know what I'm saying? Like in a world where you do this in isolation and nobody knows, it's like, okay, what a bonus for that person. But once the internet's involved and you're telling me now, and not me per se, because I don't really know shit what the fuck things cause on PlayStation Store. But if I were such a person who plays on PlayStation all the time, you're telling me that me not playing a certain game or not doing this, or maybe it's the other way. You know what? I gotta be honest. I actually don't know. I don't know if you know, Hargeet. I don't know what's the qualification. Is it somebody who hasn't played forever and they're enticing them? Or is it somebody who plays all the time and it's a reward? I don't know. I don't know if you know, Hargeet. Do you have?
Yeah, I don't think any of us really know. You know why? It's going to be based on AI behavioral analytics to figure out what entices somebody to pull the trigger on buying something. So they're
think it
gonna
was AI
test
who
it out
raised the
with you.
prices for Sony on their PlayStation consoles? You think it was AI who did
No,
the
I'm
analytics
talking
for
about
them?
dynamic pricing, right? But dynamic pricing, I think,
I
is
know.
gonna be just it's gonna be just based on what is the capacity level of your tolerance to say, oh, that's too good to pass up. That's what they're gonna do.
I mean,
So
I gotta tell you, like, if I was on PlayStation and I just bought a game, and then I saw on the internet that somebody else bought that same game for way cheaper than I just bought that game, just because the analytics said give this motherfucker a cheaper price than me, I would be pissed. Like, I would be extremely annoyed that I fucking bought a game at a higher price than somebody else when the game was not on sale. It's different if the game's on sale and I choose to miss it. You know what I'm saying? Or if the game's on sale and I'm like, oh man, I didn't realize that the fucking sale was happening and I missed it. Damn. That's one thing. But me, just regular old gamer, going to buy my games, and then I go find out that I just bought a game that other people bought on a bootlegged special sale for them and not for me. That's a slap in the fucking face. I mean, how do you feel about dynamic pricing from PlayStation?
um
Because I
yeah, I
think
mean I think it's
Xbox does it too, right?
I don't know if they do or not, but I can see them doing it. I wouldn't be shocked if other platforms did the same thing. Um, but yeah, I mean, it feels scummy. I'll just say that it feels kind of scummy. Why should I have to pay different than somebody else? Um, but this is just the world we live in now. Everything is personalized because we have the compute capacity to figure out what you need and what you will pay. So
I mean,
that's
that it
essentially
checks
what's
out.
happening.
It checks out. I mean, because I know like Xbox has like a just for you or just some shit like that pricing that
Yeah.
does happen. I don't know if it's as drastic as some of the shit that I've seen on on PlayStation right now, but
I,
it does exist. I guess for me, I have Game Pass, right? So on PlayStation, I mean on Xbox, like I don't
It
do it
doesn't
as much,
feel as bad,
right?
right? Because we yeah, we have Game Pass.
Exactly. So
But I
it's
mean, if
like
you want
I'm
to
cheating the system
equivalent,
anyway.
just think about Amazon. They do it all the time, right? I mean, they
Do
basically
they? Don't
target us
fucking tell me
all the
that.
time. So every time you want anything, they'll kind of surreptitiously put it in front of you and say, "Oh, would you like that?" And then, "Oh, well, you were looking at this. Would you like a 10% discount?" They do this automatically. It just happens. I don't know if you notice with other things too. Like you might be looking at if you go to DoorDash, you might say, "Oh, I was looking at this," and then suddenly it's like, "Oh, here's a 10% discount or $5 off if you go." Like they should do that to entice you to go ahead and do it, like to go ahead and make the order. So it's very common. As far as this, like, I mean, it feels scummy. It does, but like, is it unexpected? No. So is this gonna like go away? Unlikely. I think they're gonna continue it. It kind of
I
sucks, and it,
I
you know,
gotta say, I think you nailed it when I brought up Game Pass and you said it kind of deadens the blow if that's
yeah,
the way you
because we
said it. But
just
I feel
get
like
so
that's
much,
the
and we're
thing.
like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, like on PlayStation, you're forced to buy, right? Like the only way
Yeah,
you can
you have
play
to.
is if you buy the game. So it's like I would feel really shitty on PlayStation. I'm not gonna lie. If it happens on Xbox, it's really not that big of a deal, especially
Yeah.
after you get an event like we just had, which was crazy. I'm assuming you watched the partner preview.
Oh yeah, yeah, I did, yeah.
Oh yeah. Woo. All right. I don't want to conflate it right now, but goddamn. But yes,
So,
Mac, you're right.
but I
The
mean,
dynamic
I don't
pricing was
like it. I'll
crazy.
just say that from my perspective, I don't like it. I think
Yeah,
it's,
I feel like a sale's a
but
sale, price is price. If
yeah,
you're able to move it, then it should be moved for anybody who wants to buy at that time, not just a select fucking few.
yeah.
Except if it was for our top three, you know what I'm saying? Because they're special, so they deserve it. You know what I'm saying? The first two people in this building, they deserve the shit out of special pricing. But for the regular fucking like PlayStation people, get out of here.
Yeah, but
Get out of
like
here.
even this, like, see if you get a good deal on something, it's like, hey, this is on sale right now. Go check it out. And it's like, oh, it's not on sale for me. Wait, why did you get it? Like it's just a terrible
Exactly.
freaking view, right? Like
You're supposed
to
to
friend, you'd be
sale
like,
and then
what?
don't tell nobody. Yeah, don't say
Right?
anything to anybody.
It's like,
I just got this in
okay.
secret.
Yeah.
Like, yo, how are you playing that game? I didn't know you had it. Oh, I don't know. It just showed up here by mistake. But yeah, you're right. You're right, Mac. Dynamic pricing is a little crazy. The console price increase, of course, we're gonna talk about it, but goddamn, is it wild? Stock prices in the shitter. I mean, God, I don't know what to say. You're right. Like, it's just, but nobody will say a word, as like no one cares to say, hey, shit is not looking right over there, guys. Like, they don't. It's wild. They don't understand it, but it is what it is. So shout out to you, man, for being number one as the first super chat of the night, keeping you're trying to keep your title alive for another month. And then, goddamn, do we have the motherfucking homie in the building? Holy shit. Do we have our boy Spartan661 went ahead and gifted 50 all point for gamer membership. Shout out to the homie Spartan661. He is not fucking around. Fun fact, last night we streamed the showcase live, even though it was live for us, not live when it went live, but fine. We streamed it last night, and Spartan661 was in the building last night and did 50 gifted. He is not fucking around. He said, I'm going to make sure that no one is taking me off that goddamn banner for March. And honestly, bro, it's looking good. It's looking good. I'm saying, just a sneak peek. It's looking good, my friend. But shout out to you, man. Y'all know what to do. Put the motherfucking welcome to the family emoji in the chat. Welcome our newest members, man. We appreciate each and every one of y'all for rocking out with us tonight. You guys are the shit. So thank y'all. And of course, our boy, Spartan661. Goddamn, he's not fucking around. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate the support very, very much. You are the man. And then, of course, if you're in the chat right now and you're a member, you got to go ahead and hit that motherfucking FB emoji. Go ahead and let Spartan know how you feel about him. That's right. Put the FBs in the chat. Shout out to the homie Spartan661. You the man, bro. Thank you so much. Let me go ahead and update this banner. All right. Listen, I want to hopefully we'll see if we have some time because it's a little late. I would like to talk about the show last night or yesterday, the partner show, and see what you thought about it. You know, I have my live reactions online. If you didn't see it, go check it out. Again, I know I watched it way after everybody else, but fuck it, go watch it with us again. But Hargeet, what'd you think, man? Because I gotta tell you, for me, they fucking nailed it. So many Game Pass games. So first of all, so many brand new unannounced games that I've never seen before, and then so many of them are in Game Pass. So many games that we knew about but got Game Pass deals, which is that's one of my favorite things, when an announced game that we already saw later separately gets announced that it's coming to Game Pass, because you know that's Xbox at work, right? Xbox said, all right, you know what? We saw the reception to your game. We think you'll be a good fit. Here's the bag. Bring that bitch over for our hardcore players. And goddamn, did they not disappoint? What are your thoughts on it, man? What do you think?
Yeah, overall, I think it was good. It wasn't like great to me. It was good. So I'll give it like a 7.5, maybe closer to an 8, but like 7.5 in that range. But I saw the same thing. Like almost all of it, I think, was Play Anywhere, and
Everything was Play Anywhere.
A lot of them were Game Pass, and I'm like, wow, that's pretty good. One of the highlights is the Yakuza game is coming to Game Pass. I thought, was that the one that was like in trouble?
No, that's the other one that they showed at the showcase, or either showcase or TGA's, but that one I think is canceled, or they fired the team, or some shit happened. That one's with the bigger guy. You know what I'm saying? Like that big, heavier guy who's like fucking people
Which
up.
is
that
not a Yakuza game, right? That was like,
it's not a Yakuza game, but it's from the people who created Yakuza or some shit like that. It's one of, there's some type of connection. But that one is the one that's kind of fucked. This is the one that got announced at the TGA's. I think the one in December is the one that's in trouble. The one in the showcase in June That's the one. I don't know if it was our showcase or Summer Games Fest, but that's the one that they showed Stranger Than Heaven or whatever. But that was I don't know if you saw it. I was a little taken back on my reaction, like live when I was watching it, because dude, it is a massive downgrade. Like Watch Dogs level of downgrade. Dead ass. We watched it last night after the show just to kind of go back and look to see if I was bugging. And the announcement trailer from 9 months ago, bro, way better looking. Like it had the only thing I can imagine is what we saw is a high-end PC, and I'm hoping to God that game still exists. You know, like the one that we saw.
Yeah.
And on a high-end PC. That I'm hoping that's happening because it's way different. In isolation, it looks great, you know, but knowing what it looked like and then seeing it there kind of fucks me up. I'm so excited for it, and I was not expecting that was going to be a Game Pass day one game, which is fucking crazy.
Yeah, so and that was my highlight. There were other games that were pretty good. It never, I don't know, for some reason it didn't like end the way I wanted it to. That last game was okay, that artificial detective guy.
It wasn't in
okay.
Game Pass, which I feel like if you're going to end the show, I feel like you should have ended the show on a Game Pass drop.
But,
yeah. If it was in Game Pass, then that would have brought it better, right? It would have made it more of a situation.
Yeah, but there were plenty of cool things in there. But there were also ones that I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever, fine. But you know, the cool thing is, of course, it's all in Game Pass, so it's like fine. A couple of them are not. Dispatch is finally coming over. That's cool. I think that was not
in Game Pass. That's a miss.
Play Anywhere. Yep, it would have been nice if that was in Game Pass.
This is the thing for me. I have a PlayStation, and I didn't buy Dispatch. I have the PC, and I didn't buy Dispatch.
Yeah,
like I'm not gonna I'm not gonna glaze the shit and be like, oh, it's on Xbox now, so I'm gonna buy it. Like, no, if it was in Game Pass, that would have been great. Not that I'm glad it's here for the people who felt like left out or felt down about not being able to play it. I think Xbox is putting in that work, even if games are not coming day and date. It's soon after coming to the box, and you know, not for nothing, Hargeet, but like we just went to GDC, I just was there and I was just hearing their messaging. And, you know, when we were at GDC, they made it such a big deal about Xbox Play Anywhere, right? And then we just on the last show had a new interview that came out from GDC with Chris Charla. And they asked about, you know, being making a game for Project Helix and what does that mean? And it's like, well, and he was like, if you're gonna make a game for Project Helix, if you're making a next gen game, then you're somebody who makes games for Xbox, who makes games for Xbox on PC, and who is part of the Xbox Play Anywhere program. I think this is based off this show and based off some of the information that we know from what their ambition is with Xbox Play Anywhere and what it looks like based on what Chris Charles talked about. I think if you're making a game that's going to be playable on the Project Helix, I think it's Xbox Play Anywhere only. I think that's the only way you get your game on Helix. I don't think there's an option
a
way
to do it otherwise. It
doesn't look like there's an option.
That. But yeah, I want to also call out The Expanse. It looked kind of like an interesting potential game.
That's
I'm not
my
sure
shit.
how that's
my shit. And that's Game Pass, bro. Yep. It's like a Mass Effect, light, because we don't know how deep it's gonna be, but it feels like it's in that vein, and I'm so amped for it. And to be in Game Pass, bro, they blew me away with that shit. I was so happy.
And then they have Hunter of the Reckoning, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna like it or not. It seems like a Resident Evil-y kind of feel to me, but it could be pretty good. But we'll see, because it's like the vampire hunting werewolves or something along those lines.
Well, you remember the old game, right? You remember the old one? What?
No.
Hunter the Reckoning. It was on Xbox or Xbox 360. I don't remember 100%. But Hunter the Reckoning, that was a 4-player co-op game. I don't know if it was 4-player, but 2-player minimum. It was co-op though. And it was dope. But it was an isometric, like almost like 3/4 view, like not quite all the way over, but yeah, it was a fully 3D, but it was a fun game. I could probably pull it up, but yeah, it's dope.
Yeah, so that looked like it had potential. Again, I don't know what the gameplay is about, right? So we'll see. That might be kind of cool. A lot of the other ones, I'm like, yeah, okay. Obviously, the Yakuza game, I'm gonna be for that. I've loved the Yakuza series, so I'm sure it'll be fun. Dispatch is something I'll probably end up picking up. It's apparently very, very good. So, so that's pretty good. Cool that came over. Yeah, I don't know what else. Like the Stalker 2, like I tried Stalker 2, dude. I tried. It
Yeah.
lasted
Stalker
all of
2
like
is
20
not.
minutes. I couldn't do
Yeah,
it. I'm like, okay, I'm done.
so I like Stalker 2 a lot actually, but like not when sometimes you really want to like something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sometimes you really want to. And I mean, honestly, I did like it. I enjoyed my time with it. I think it's well made. I think the game's a little harder than I want it to be. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, I kind of don't want, like, it's kind of a grim situation, and I really don't want to be stuck in it. Like I want to keep progressing and moving forward. And if it's like something that's gonna, give me a little bit of a deterrence, it's like just not, greatest for me. So I did put a lot. I feel like I put a lot of time in the game, so I didn't just like bounce out of it in 20 minutes. I played it for hours. But it's not like it, even like if I said, oh, let me go put it back on, it's not like an easy game to get back into either. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost like you either went all in on it or you kind of moved on and that was the end. But for the people who were feeling it, getting the DLC is cool. I also feel like it was kind of a slap to the face that there's no Game Pass. I know that they want to try to make the money because they took the Game Pass bag before. I listen,
Well, I
for
mean,
me,
it's
I gotta tell
DLC,
you,
right? Yeah.
Well, it's a major expansion, right? So it's like Starfield expansion.
Which also
Which
is
I don't
not
know if that
in
was
Game
I don't
Pass,
think that
right?
was in Game Pass either.
No.
I'm just saying, like, I don't know how much that shit sold. Like, I don't know how much Stalker 2 sold. So I get their desire, right? They need to make the money. I get it 100%. I'm not judging them for it like that. But for me as a player, it's like, well, maybe if it was in Game Pass, I would, take a look at the expansion. But yeah, I'm not gonna fuck with it. What do you think about the life of Goldman or whatever the fuck?
I mean, it
The
looks kind
Goldman.
of funny, right? It's a cartoony like looking game, right?
Did you see the
But the other one
animation work though? It's really cool looking, man.
it's good looking,
Like
yeah.
it sold me, yeah. Before even I knew it was coming in the Game Pass.
But it's coming to Game Pass. So again, that's just one of those, like me,
Exactly.
I will just download and try it anyway, right? So if it's
Mhm.
good, I will end up playing it. The other ones that stood out, Musa, I think it was
Yep.
the like is it samurai? I don't know, whatever it is. It was kind of like
Yeah.
whatever medieval in the East, right? And then that artificial detective also seems like it could be interesting. I'll need to see a bit more about what it does, but it could be an interesting game. It would have been nice if that was also Game Pass, but so, but
Agreed.
that, yeah.
What? No,
So
Musa
overall, I
is
mean,
in Game
it's pretty
Pass.
good. It's like a
Musa's in
seven and
Game
a half to
Pass.
8 to me. So, what was that? Musa is, I
Musa's in
think, but
Game Pass.
the artificial detective, that one,
Oh, Artificial Detective. Yeah. That
yeah,
one's
yeah, the
not. That one
artificial
I think was a
detective,
miss. That was a miss
yeah.
for me. Yeah. Oh, what I was gonna say before about that is that, like, I do feel like I don't know, man. In a show where you have so many games that are on Game Pass, right? Like, you're surrounded by a bunch of games that are on Game Pass. If you're like a brand new entity, like a unknown to the world, and you're showing up to this party, and everybody else in the party is on Game Pass, and you're like, nah, I'm good, bro. That's like
Yeah.
That's like when I went to Canada when I was in college, and I went for the first time. I never knew about it, but I went to like an after party club or some shit, whatever they called it. I don't know. It's like a club you go after the club. And I didn't know that you're supposed to be fucked up when you go to those clubs. You know what I'm saying? Back when I was in college, I didn't know. I never went there. So they know that you're not fucked up and they won't deal with you. Like, because you're not supposed to be there, because you're supposed to be fucked up. If you're not fucked up, get out of here. That's the way they handle it. But that's what it is. So this is what these people are doing. They're showing up to the party where everybody else is already partying hard, right? We're all in Game Pass, living our best life. Like, oh shit. And then it's like, oh, you fucking 3 are not in Game Pass. Like, you 4, what the fuck is wrong with you? There's something wrong with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get what's the name? Dispatch, right? Dispatch got a lot of clout right now, right? A lot of people have been waiting for Dispatch. So I get them being like, nah, we'll do the Xbox Play Anywhere joint, but we're going to hold off and wait. Okay, I get that. But this new shit that nobody even knows what it is, I don't know. I don't think that sits right. A Serious Sam? You're not going to be in Game Pass? Who the fuck? I don't know. I guess there's just a group of Serious Sam fans.
They haven't done that well. I don't think the newer games that they put out. I don't think.
But it looks like it looks like every game looks the same, Hargeet. I feel like I see the same boards. I see the same graphics all the time. So I feel like they just take the same game and just redo it over and over again and spend like no money, but just keep selling them and banking. Apparently, it's good enough for somebody.
Yeah. The other thing I noticed is that some of the games are not coming to other platforms, which was surprising because they're very candid now. Right at the end of the trailer, it shows you every logo switch to PlayStation, all that stuff. It shows you some games were Xbox only, and I'm like, well, that's actually rather interesting. So there are games coming out that are exclusive to Xbox. These are third parties, right? They have no tie to Xbox. They can do whatever they want. So. Well, interesting choice.
Well, dude, I wonder if they get a little bag because you figure were the ones that you're talking about, were they in Game Pass?
Yes. Yeah.
So maybe for them, they were just saying, all right, we got the bag from Xbox. Let's focus on getting the Xbox version out. These are still smaller indies, right? In general. So it's like maybe they just wanted to focus and then they'll bring it elsewhere later.
And again, this could just be that it's early, but that Artificial Detective was also Xbox only.
I mean, when it's third party, I mean, I don't think Xbox is paying people to not put their games somewhere. So I think it's just a matter for them when it's Xbox, it's just time. It's just their
maybe it's just too early
making this version. Yeah, this their version of it. They're getting Game Pass money, so it's like, all right, we don't have to stress about trying to get because you got to imagine, right? If you really think about it, you got these smaller devs, and I'm sure, Chris Charla is getting into these meetings kind of early on with them as they're making these games. And, they're saying, all right, we got to make 3 different versions of this, like not 3 different versions per se, but like we have to make the game and make sure we can have it running on these different platforms. And, because if not, we don't know how much money we're going to make. So we got to have a wide net. And, taking that Game Pass bag can just give them some peace, right? It's like, all right, well, we got some money. We got some money that came in. We'll release this. People will be hyped. They'll play it. People will buy it. And then we'll bring it out in other places. Do you know how many games? I don't remember. I got to be honest with you. I was like caught up in the moment as I was watching. I didn't really... I kept looking for the badges. I wasn't really looking for I didn't care where the console was coming out at because I'm watching the Xbox show. So I knew it was coming to Xbox. So I was more just, is this Game Pass or Play Anywhere? I don't know how many games are not going elsewhere.
It was only a couple. I don't think there was that, but I did notice it that I'm like, wow, the logos weren't there. That's kind of, and it could
strange.
Be CMoney, the same thing. It could just be it's too early, and they just haven't decided where they're going to be because they're like, well, we have to figure that out when we get closer to release, as to what platforms we can go ahead and
that's possible,
target, right? So, the other one, it could be that they're like, by the time we come out, there might be a PlayStation 6 and Xbox Helix. They're like, we're not going to say anything, right? So
I mean, possibly. I don't know how PlayStation 6 is looking with this price hike that we just had right now. Oh my God, PlayStation 6, if the Pro is basically $1,000, right? Like that's pretty much where it is when you factor in the disk drive, and if you want the stand, you're there, right? Because it's $900 with nothing, $980 with the disk drive, and then over $1,000 if you get the stand for it. Which, yeah, you don't need the stand, but if you want the stand, it's part of the package. Boom, you're at over $1,000. And there's tax anyway. So even at 980, you're still all in, no matter how you cut it, at over $1,000. Even at just 900, you're right there, right? So yeah, shit, that PlayStation 6 either not gonna. I mean, listen, they told us it's gonna be more like 2029 or 2030 before this PlayStation sees the light of day. Mark Cerny told us, a few years just to get the shit, the system down, let alone to have everything, ready to go and have games ready to go. So, yeah, it's not looking great. It's not looking great. Not looking great. All right. Excuse me. Before we hop in to the topic at hand, I do want to go ahead and shout out the homies who are in the chat. I do see you guys. Appreciate y'all for rocking out with us. I see Damn Good in the building. What's up, man? Sad says MTZ Gaming. What's going on, player? Who also says PS5 Pro is now 1K with the stand. It's time, man. Bro, next set is gonna be crazy. And there's a conversation we're gonna have about it too. With this idea that we've literally talked about the fact that this generation is not going anywhere. These prices are proving that they have no intention of moving on from this generation. You got to look at Project Helix and PlayStation 6 whenever that comes out. That's Nvidia's 6090. You know what I'm saying? It's a new spec, not a new generation, right? It's no more generation. It's a new spec. You want to play the games looking the best. You want the best features for your game, a la, DLSS 5 on just the 50 series, right? You want those little perks, then you got to go ahead and get Project Helix. You got to go ahead and get PlayStation 6. You're not getting that in the other versions, but you're still getting the games. You know what I'm saying? So, like, as shitty as it is that a good portion of gamers, like a good portion of gamers are not going to be able to join us in the Project Helix, family. And, for the PlayStation people, there's a good amount of them who are not going to go to PlayStation 6. It's just not going to happen. And I mean, honestly, it kind of is what it is, but they are changing the game. You know what I'm saying? And I gotta be honest with you, like, it's probably good for the industry. I believe that. I think so. And that's gonna be something I'm gonna want to talk about once we get into this topic, after we have fun talking about PlayStation's dumb shit for this generation of what they're doing. That next conversation I definitely want to kind of have, because I feel like there's, it's something there, right? I think there's something that is that holds true for what this is going to do for the industry and for developers and all that fun shit, right? I see E-Ranks in the building. Shout out to the homie E-Ranks. What's going on, man? Boss Bronze in the building. What's up, dog? Mr. Kima in the building. What's going on, player? Amit Kumar. What's up, my brother? Outward Lyric. What is up, fam? RC Polygon in the building. What is up, man? RC Polygon says it's so stupid that people are not seeing reality with the console price increases and the studio closures. This is why Xbox shouldn't do exclusives. Oh shit, I even forgot the studio closure, that PlayStation. Jesus, bro. It was Mac. Mac, you steered us wrong. You gave us a list of all the problems, and you forgot to mention the studio closure. God, I blame you, Mac, for me not being on my game. But yes, PlayStation is just a ball of shit right now. This is what's happening. Because look, I gotta be honest with you, man. Xbox tells me, yo, prices go up tomorrow. I'm like, I get it. I see where the money's being spent, right? Like, I'm like, all right, damn, like, that sucks for those people who got to pay more for a console. But like, bro, I'm getting hella games in my Game Pass subscription. I'm getting crazy amount of games. I 100% can rationalize in my head that Xbox needed to go up because they're spending so much money on games for me that I got to just say, hey, sorry, suckers, you didn't buy the console. You're going to have to pay more. It just is what it is. But what does PlayStation offer anybody? Games? No. They're fucking two games in a year. What the fuck is that? That's not me seeing PlayStation be like, oh my God, we're spending so much money on games for you that we got to raise the price. No, they're not doing that. You know what? Maybe it's our PlayStation Plus subscription. We're getting these day one bangers, right? So many day one bangers. No, you ain't getting shit. You're getting nothing. You're getting trash. Fam, what is the justification that PlayStation can possibly have? Let me hold this shit for a little bit. You fucking with me. You know what the shit about RC? RC Polygon always says some shit that makes me want to fucking go full in on what we're about to talk about before we could timestamp that bitch. God damn it. You got me out here wasting bars, Polygon. God damn it. But great message. He says this is why Xbox shouldn't do exclusives. Agreed. Right? It's stupid to box yourself in, right? In such a volatile industry. You want your shit everywhere. Fucking A. They're gonna keep doing it like the bosses they are. I see Dark Zone in the building. What's up, man? Thank you for being here. Navy Shadow, what's going on, player? Thank you for being here. He says, now, of course, the new pony glazing will be Xbox is going to raise their prices again, too. I highly doubt it right now because Microsoft got their chip deal. They would have done so already. I mean, listen. All they hope for is for Microsoft to do it again, right? Microsoft already did what they had to do, and, doesn't seem like it's going to happen again. But, I mean, look, even if they did, it is what like I just explained it, right? I can see in my mind, like, all right, it sucks. They shouldn't do it. But with the money they're putting out for me as a gamer, it's like, all right, fine. Sucks, but fine. But there's no justification for PlayStation. They're not spending any money. They're not spending any money. None, zero. How can they justify that shit? Come on, man. Oh, I know. They spent all their money on paying all the guys who did the previews for Soros. That's where they spent their money, glazing all the people who did the preview for Soros, claiming is the best shit in the world. Okay. Oh, I don't get into like shit, like people's preferences, whatever. But like, that guy, Kami, Kami, Kami. He's on Twitter. He's like, he's just some dude who post shit. He has a lot of followers on Twitter and shit. But he's a pony, but he'll put up random shit that's fine. But he normally puts up like facts about something. So he'll say, oh, previews about a game are in or some shit or whatever. But this motherfucker put the first line when he talked about the Sorrow situation is game of the year. game of the year. Soros is that's what people are saying. It's going to be the game of the year. Fucking Soros. What Hargeet, name me 3 games coming out this year. Off the top of your head, 3 games coming out this year.
Fable, I hope. Gears E-Day, GTA 6.
Not those games, Hargeet. Soros is going to be a game of the year. Not the epic, amazing, huge, life-changing games that are going to be dropping like Fable, GTA 6, and Gears E-Day. No. People think Soros, the game made by the people who gave us Returnal, that couldn't even crack 1 million in sales between PC and PlayStation. That game, that's your game of the year. Get the fuck out of here. I don't care what the game plays like.
RE is not. I thought RE was supposed to be one of the game of the year contenders.
No,
and
no,
they don't
no.
think
Fuck
Wolverine's
Resident Evil. Fuck Resident Evil, Hargeet. Sorrow, sadness, tears. That's going to be the game of the year.
I mean,
fuck
all
out
right.
of here.
And Wolverine's going to be crap then, apparently.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I told you that
fair enough.
I'm just relatively excited for it. Not really. I wouldn't even use the word excited.
Fair enough.
But yeah, it's what it is, man. This is the world that we live in. This is the world that we live in. Ray Chi in the building. What's up, man? I see you play it. Thank you for being here. Serve, what's going on, man? Thank you for being here, bro. Appreciate you. Who else we got in the building? Shay G in the building. What's up, man? How you doing, bro? Thank you for rocking out. Sinastro J, what's up, man? Thank you for rocking out, player. Thank you for being here, man. Nerdo, what's up, man? I see you, homie. WTB, what's up, dog? Thank you for being here, bro. All right. I'm gonna say a few more. Vin C in the building. What's up, man? Appreciate you. The Duck of Death, what's going on, man? CBH4, what's up, player? Thank you for being here. Ren in the building. What's up, man? He said, Ren, damn, I didn't think there was going to be a show today. Yo, listen, I told y'all yesterday that I might do something really late today, and we did. We're here. You know, I appreciate you being here, though. You're the man. Thank you, brother. All right. Fillmore Pockets in the building. What's up, man? Thank you for being here. Fillmore says it's the RoboCop team that's making Hunter the Gathering or Hunter the Reckoning.
No, Hunter the Reckoning. Yeah. No, I know that.
Yeah, Reckoning.
Yeah, Red was talking about Red Wolf. He was talking about that game. He's pretty hyped about it. So,
which one? Hunter the Reckoning?
Yeah. So
I was pretty hyped for it because of the nostalgia factor that I have, but it's a very different game. So they're using a name, but it's not really the game. Maybe just the ethos of the game, like the idea, the feeling of the game, but it's obviously first person. It looks really good to me. That being said, it's not on Game Pass, which means they're gonna have to nail it. Like I have to wait to see if it's gonna be something that makes me want to play it. You know what I'm saying? And that's the position that these games are. Like if you're not in Game Pass, when Xbox has so many games coming to Game Pass, it's like, well, prove to me. You know what I'm saying? Like you need. Like, I'm not in the business of just buying shit because it comes out. You know, I'm in the business of why should I buy your game, right? That's it. That's just what it is. So Hunter looks cool, but we'll see. We'll see what it does and how it does. But agreed. Z Black Rider in the building. What's up, man? Thank you for being here. Abacab 72. What's up, fam? Thank you for rocking out with us. Powerballs in the building. What's going on, playa? G Baby in the building, the OG. What's up, man? Thank you for being here. I don't know if you guys know, but you got to put some motherfucking respect on G Maybe's name. G Maybe was here before everybody. G Maybe used to watch us, Doodle and I, back when, for whatever reason, we had like this group of young kids who would just watch our shows all the time. Like, definitely super young kids. Not like I don't know their ages, but they seemed young in the chat, and they all like talked to Doodle like she was a mother figure. It was wild. But G Maybe was around. That's how long he's been fucking with us. He was there before we changed our name. He was there for a lot. We talked to him a lot. He had a lot of impact on our channel, actually. With a lot of the decisions that we made, we ran a lot through G Maybe. He's a wise man. So shout out to G Maybe, the OG in the building. Thank you for being here, bro. Always good to see you. I see Hectic World in the building. What's up, man? Yo, he just spit some bars that you need to see. He says Project Helix is dead at $1,000. But it's okay for the PS5 Pro to be $1,000. Bro, you can't make this up. You can't make it up, dog. You can't. It's not possible. You cannot make it up. It's crazy, the double standards that exist. But, you know, they're going to be fucked. They're going to be fucked because we're having a good life over on Xbox, bro. It just is what it is. I see Gotham Guy in the building. What's up, man? Thank you for being here, bro. Verg Brizzle. What's going on, player? We got Mac 22T854 with that $2 super chat says, my bad. It's all right. It's all right. I've already forgiven you. All right. You fucked me over, but I forgive you. Just playing. No, thank you, man. Appreciate you, homie. All right. Malcolm X Lax in the building. What's up, dog? Thank you for rocking out. The Real in Television. What is up, man? Thank you for rocking out with us. You know, I gotta tell you, he brings up a fucking fantastic point. He says, I keep telling people PlayStation and Nintendo are finished. Microsoft will have monopoly power, and if you don't like it, find a new hobby. So this is the thing, you know, what you're saying is something that a lot of people will find hard to believe or will try to fight. But I gotta be honest with you, man. I think you're absolutely right. I think that what Microsoft is doing is positioning themselves. They knew where prices were going to go. They knew what was going to come in the future. And I don't think if you're in the situation where you're spending over $1,000, you're 100%. I don't care how you cut it. You're in deep PC territory. If you cross that $1,000 threshold, right? 100% you could walk away with a nice PC, live a great life, right? Who the fuck is going to say for over $1,000, I'm going to buy the one box that's not Nintendo with fucking Mario, the one box that if I spend over $1,000, all I can play is what Daddy Sony decides I can play on their little shit box? Or do you spend over $1,000 but get Project Helix, which takes you to the Xbox ecosystem, but also spreads its legs wide open for the PC storefronts of your dreams? You could penetrate any PC store. However deep you want to go, you can go into these stores right from your Project Helix. How does it make sense to say? Because again, let's be clear. There's no casual market for PlayStation 6 at these prices. None. It doesn't exist. The casual market will live on the PlayStation 5. They will not move to the PlayStation 6. Okay? They won't. So it's only the hardcore people who are going to go think about buying a PlayStation 6. And those people are going to have to justify one PlayStation 5 exclusive that I care about a year, or endless amount of games from the stores of my choosing on Project Helix. Come on, man. It's just the reality. It's just what it is. Sorry. I know it hurts your feelings, but it's the truth. Truth hurts. And so the Real in Television. You're not wrong, dog. You're not wrong. All right. Force One Vlog. What's up, fam? Thank you for being here. John 907. What's going on, homie? Brother Grim in the building. What's up, man? I see you, player. All right. Listen. We got to start this party, bro. We got to start the party. It has to be official. We kind of started it with Hargeet's bars on the partner preview, but now it's the real deal, Holyfield. Now, I don't know if I'm going to freeze. I'm probably going to freeze because, you know, that's what the shit does. Did I freeze?
You did.
I don't know. Did I? I did. Of course. You son of a bitch. Okay. Let me get my, just imagine me moving my head, you know, talking like a normal person. All right. Wait, I'm going to find it. Oh, we got another thing to talk about too that I completely forgot about. I don't know if you heard about it, Hargeet. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to bust I don't want to bust the nut too early about this, but did you hear about the new Game Pass tier? Don't tell me about it if you did hear about it, but did you hear about the?
I've heard rumors of a new tier, but I have not heard any.
Okay, don't
particulars.
talk about it. Okay, so we're gonna talk about that rumor as well, about what it is. But okay, here we go. Let me get this message here. Oh no, not that one. Oops. Not that one. That's not the one I was looking for. Hold on. I'm getting it. God damn. A lot of shit happens. And that I click on. Okay. Did you hear that Microsoft confirmed that Asha is the one that killed This Is an Xbox?
Yeah,
We
I
heard the
did, I
rumors,
did hear that.
but Microsoft made it official.
Yeah, no,
Microsoft
I
like,
heard that.
yeah.
Yeah, no, that I
Asha
heard.
put the
There's some
put the chrome
like
to the
interview
dome.
stuff going on, right? And like the interviews are giving us more information about what's been going on. But yeah, I think even
Exactly.
like the new features that are coming to the consoles, that was her like
Oh
saying,
yeah.
"Hey, let's push that." So
Yeah, well, I mean, we know that there's features that Major Nelson, aka Larry Herb,
yeah,
went ahead and put in for 5 years ago, back when it was first going down, and only now has it happened because she made it happen. Did you
yeah.
also hear that Alana Pierce has a fucking movie, a movie studio?
Oh no, I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, Charred
Damn,
Pictures.
nice.
And yeah, they're helping make. I didn't know she was balling like that. Fucking A. So good on her. But
Why
damn.
not?
Yeah. Shit. Fuck. If you got it. I guess she saw that dude make that movie. It was like, oh shit, you can make that much money by mistake. Okay.
Which
All right,
movie?
all right, all right. That Iron Lung or whatever the fuck. That YouTuber who
Oh,
made his own movie.
okay.
Did you not know about that movie?
Nope.
You never heard of that? Oh shit! Yeah, it came out. My son went to go see it with his friend. Um, yeah, it's some YouTuber made a legit movie that was in theaters. He spent like his own
Nice.
money. It was like a couple $1,000,000 or $1,000,000, and he made like 4 or
Wow.
5 or 6 million, some shit like that. So
Hey, what the heck? Right, great. That's awesome. Why not?
great investment, and he acted in it like he was the main actor in it, and he crushed it
Wow.
supposedly. I mean, I don't know if it got great reviews, but just good enough, right?
Hey,
So,
just gotta make enough
um,
money, right? So-
that's all it's about. That's all it's about. Absolutely.
Damn.
So, just in case if there's any people in here who are making a movie and you feel like including CMoney, Doodle, Hargeet, we'll be in it. You know what I'm saying? Just give us a couple mil. We'll be happy. We don't even need a couple. Just give us one. One would be good. One will be. I'll be happy with that. You know what I'm saying? I'll take that. Just as a nice little bonus. Yeah, please. Okay. Here we go. I got it. Let me take my chapter and we're gonna start this fucking party the right way. All right. Bam, bam, Bigelow. Boom. Boom. Okay.
So your
No.
camera freezes because you're switching tabs in the same browser? Is that
Yeah.
why? Or
Mm-hmm.
why not just use a different browser for your StreamYard?
Well, because it's just one TV is my problem. Because the way I share the thing is I normally just share a tab because it's just
Are you using
easier.
Edge or
It's not
Chrome?
Chrome.
Yeah, I use that too, and I don't seem to freeze when I do that. But I also just use Chrome just for StreamYard. I use Edge for everything else. But that way, you can just swap between them and like,
Well, this is the thing. I never used to freeze.
yeah, so something weird's going on then. Yeah.
I
That's
don't
kind
know
of
what
odd.
happened. I don't know what took place, and I'm not, savvy enough to figure it. It's not honestly, it's just time. I don't have the
Yeah.
time to try to sort it out. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just look at what time we had to go live tonight. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just They just got to fit it in, and that's the reason I like StreamYard is because it's just that simple to use for the most part. So it's kind of a pain in the ass, but did you just say Kmart connection, Malcolm? That's wild. I got 5 gigs. I don't know why this shit can possibly ever struggle or do anything. Plus, this is my PC with a 4090. I don't know what CPU it has, but shit, can't be that bad. The fuck? It's crazy town. All right, stop talking shit. God damn it. I gotta do my chapter all over again because y'all done fucked me up. All right. Look at this. The time is moved. God damn it. All right. Boom. Wait, it's gonna start. Here we go. All right. It's happening now. All right, guys. This is the moment that we've been waiting for. This is the moment that all of the hardcore PlayStation fanboys who told us that Xbox was dead because they raised their prices. This is the moment where we get to laugh and point at them because not only did PlayStation say, hey, Xbox, we'll take your price increase, and not only are we going to match it, but instead, we're going to introduce gaming to the 4-digit tier. That's right. PlayStation said, I like ye $1,000 for my console, please. Thank you. They were the ones who took us there. Not next gen. Not next gen, like our friend Hectic World in the chat let everybody know that the ponies told us that Project Helix was going to be dead, DOA, because it was going to be over $1,000. But the PlayStation 5 Pro has taken us to that promised land, taken us to the land of the comma. The comma has officially been introduced to console gaming. Bro, Sony announces major PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 5 Portal console price. Now, I'm going to freeze for a second. Hold on. Now, my workaround, Hargeet, to me freezing is split screen. So if I do split screen on the browser, which I figured out how to do, I can talk and move and look at the thing. So it's a pain in the ass when you want to swap out of it, but still, it works. All right. So let's see what's happening over at Sony. Rumors started circulating that a significant price increase was coming to the PlayStation 5, PlayStation 5 Pro, and PlayStation Portal consoles. And the price increase has now been made official. On April 2nd, it's about to become a lot more expensive to buy either of Sony's mainline PlayStation 5 consoles, the base version and Pro model, and the successful PlayStation Portal. On March 27th, the official PlayStation blog announced that due to, quote, continued pressures in the global economic landscape, we've made the decision to increase the prices of PS5, PS5 Pro, and PlayStation Portal remote player globally. The changes come into effect from April 2nd, and there are significant price increases across the board from region to region and on all PlayStation 5 and PlayStation Portal hardware. Check out the full list of price changes below. Your new PlayStation 5, $649. That's the new one. Okay, $649. That's the new price. PlayStation 5 Digital Edition starts at $600. But here's the tricky bitch. If you say to yourself, man, I can't find the PlayStation 5 anywhere with the disc tray, right? the disc tray comes standard with the regular PlayStation 5, and you say to yourself, fuck me, I gotta buy the digital edition and a disc tray. Well, guess what, my friends? You just went from 600, not to 650, like the PlayStation 5. No. You go to 680 plus tax. 680. PlayStation 5 digital edition if you have to buy the fucking tray, the disc tray, because you can't find a PlayStation 5. And then this is the real kicker, guys. The real kicker is the PS5 Pro digital edition, because that's the way it comes, right? Doesn't it? Is that the way it comes? I don't remember anymore. Comes that way. Then you got to buy the disc tray.
Yep. And I think that this is like $80 or something, $70.
It's like $80. Yeah, $80.
Yeah.
So just wanted to verify before I said it again. PlayStation 5 Pro digital edition is $900. We were talking shit about it when it was $800. Now it's $900. Oh, when it was 700?
It came out at 7, then it went to 750.
Oh my god.
And now it just went up $150, bro.
I forgot that it was 700 and I assumed it was 800 because I thought it was only 100. Bro, so you're telling me it was at 700.
Easy.
We mocked that shit. And you're saying
700
that
bro.
Now it's fucking 900. So it's a $200 increase from launch. And it launched 2 years ago.
Yeah, even more crazy.
Or a year and a half ago.
The digital edition PS5 started at $400. It launched at $400. It's now $600. It's a 50% increase.
Also $200 increase.
It's a $200 increase. It's a 50% increase.
Wow. So, okay, to be clear, PS5 Pro digital edition is $900. But if you want that disc tray, like all you disc-loving ponies are all about, you're talking $980 before taxes, which officially brings you to that $1,000 mark. If you buy the stand, you go even further. But you cannot, if you don't have over $1,000 in your account, you are not walking out with the PlayStation 5 Pro and a disc tray. It's not happening. That's crazy. That's real crazy. Real crazy. Yo, this is current gen. Motherfuckers were talking about, oh my God, next gen is going to be $1,000. Bitch, you there right now. With PlayStation, with the company who's giving you the least amount of games. They are officially the company who are giving you the least amount of games. Yet these motherfuckers think that they should raise the prices. Where are the pitchforks? Where are the articles? PlayStation is dead. Where? Hargeet, help me. Where are they? Where?
Yeah. It's always like this with PlayStation, right? I mean, there are certainly people out there who are complaining. Fair enough. That would be on the internet. Where's the equivalent from, say, the media? I don't know. I've been trying to look for articles where I can see like a clear, hey, this is terrible, blah, blah, blah. You certainly see it from people who usually say these kind of things, right? I think, oh no, it's Alex already has a video out. Like, okay, here's the terribleness, just continuing, right? This is stupid shit. Like,
yeah.
But, and
he's not media. He's just,
but he's not. He's just a dude talking just like we are. And but yeah,
that's why we're worried about where's IGN, where's GameStop,
where's the mainline media, right? Saying, okay, where's this industry going, right? And like trying to rationalize what's actually happening, and pushing back and saying, do you really need to increase it $150? Like, is it really that much? Like, okay, maybe it is, but it's like, dude, 150 more.
Yo,
so
what's the percent? I need to know the exact percent. since 700 versus 900, what is the percent increase between it?
Well,
Because
it's about a 30% increase. It's in
about a
the
30% increase.
range. Yeah.
I want to know, what is the power difference between the PlayStation 5 Pro and the Xbox Series X?
Well, it's tough to tell because they have a little bit of a difference in capability set, right? So one's at 12.15, the other one's 16.3 or something like that. T-flops, but that's not enough of a like comparator because it also has DLSS capability, right? Like it has their pisser technology. So you have to take that into account. So it's really hard to tell. So if I take that out and just say raw
But
grunt performance,
just raw dog,
it's about 35% in that range.
So basically, they are going ahead and saying, you know what? We're going to go ahead and increase the costs, right? And put you at 30% higher price than where we started for an equivalent amount of power increase over a Series X. But what does the Series X cost? Is it $699?
I think it's
$599?
I think it's 600. I'll just check. But
600.
yeah, I think it's at 600. But Xbox
So it's
Series
a $300 difference. So it costs 50% more than a Series X.
Yes, but all these stupid things. Okay, let's see. And we're talking digital to digital, right? Are we talking digital or are we talking with disk drive?
Yeah, we're talking no. We're talking the digital to digital. 600
okay.
to
yeah, $600
$900.
is the digital. Yeah,
digital. 50%
at
more.
least that's what I'm seeing on their website right now. If I just look up the the white digital whatever 1 terabyte edition, it's $599.
So spend 50% more for only 30% increase. That is wild. That's crazy. I just can't understand how PlayStation can justify being the person who makes the least amount of games, who gives the consumer the least amount of bang for their buck, but they think that they should be the ones going to that $1,000 mark. It's like fucking Nintendo being the assholes who went first with $80 games. Obviously, the world rejected it, but still, they tried. They were going to be the first ones, or they were the first ones who released an $80 game.
Yeah, I mean, look, the whole thing is just insanity that like it went up by $200 within what, a year, 2 years, right? I mean, it came out, was it 24? End of 24? Is that right? Yeah, I think it came out end of 24, right? And then now here we are,
came out September
beginning
of 2024.
Yeah, so we're at the beginning of 26.
A year and a half.
A year and a half.
Year and a half.
It's gone up $200.
$200.
But crazy is that $400 at launch was your PS5 digital. $400. It is now a 50% increase at $600.
50% increase.
That's insane. that's insane. Look, I mean, this is it's a sad thing that this is where we are. This is based on the memory and storage, I assume. And I think Xbox had to take that hit earlier, and PlayStation said, "Hey, we were good through 2025, right?" They said we have the stock. It's like, okay, well, the stock is up. Run out. Here you go.
The stock is up. We're done with the stock.
So now they're passing that on. It is what it is. The AI bubble is killing things, and here you go, right? So. And it looks like the bubble's bursting a little. The AI bubble is bursting a little. So maybe that'll come down and tumble down a little bit, and we will get back to reality. But unfortunately, this is kind of where we are. But this does raise a lot of questions. We're thinking about PS6 and maybe Helix, but there's a console that's coming out this year, right? The Steam machine is supposed to be coming out this year, and they haven't launched it yet, even given us a price because of this craziness of where we are. You can easily guess that the price of that thing is going to be in the range of between the PS5 and the PS5 Pro, right? It's got to be in that range. It's just the way it is. So
Yep.
I wouldn't expect it to be any cheaper than the $600 that you have here. I would guess $750, even $8 is probably reasonable for that machine. It just is what it is. And like $900 for a PS5 Pro, dude, that's crazy. What does that mean for next
I
gen?
can't even, bro. I can't even.
That's
But
gonna
like,
be insane.
this is the thing. Next gen is going to be a real tricky situation for the people, right? For the players, right? Who are used to the idea that when the next generation comes out, yeah, maybe they won't get it in the first year or whatever the case is, but you're talking to them now being in a scenario where people may never get the next console. Like, this might very well be where people stay, because I don't think you can justify to many people spending $1,000 on a new box. I just don't see it. And I don't see the platform holders trying to cut ties with the only affordable entry points they have, which are these cheaper boxes. And like, keep in mind that Xbox is the only people now with a true entry point that is still in the realm of what people are okay with.
Yeah, it's reasonable. $400 gets you a Series S. And if they have any sense, if Asha has any sense, for the love of God, go talk to Take-Two and get that stupid bundle put together with GTA 6, because people are going to want to buy GTA 6 and get the new console. And this is going to be the cheapest entry point. And who cares? For most players, they're just going to want to play the game. It's going to work fine on the Series S. It's going to be available on the Series S. Buy the freaking Series S and play the game. Like, this is golden opportunities come every now and then, right? Here it is. You have it. This is like the big moment for Asha. Don't step on a rake and increase the price yourself. Just go ahead and take the hit and say, nope, we're staying where we are. If you can find a way to make it cheaper, do it. And they did, right? They just did this like deal for you thing with the console, right? So they gave a price decrease, increase, whatever, right? A discount to people as far as getting the consoles. Do similar things. Like, they need to really like hit that, hit it home. Hey, we've got the value proposition way better than our competition, right? Because their lowest entry point now is $600. The lowest entry point on Xbox is $400. If they can find a way to make that $350, good God, right? If they can make it back to $300, which is what it launched at, how much better a position would they be in, right? Now you talk about, oh, they didn't have enough memory. It was only 10 gigs. What's the commodity that's causing the problem? Memory. What is the thing that has the most impact here? Memory. So, you can make your box cheaper. Find a way. Just find a way. Like, make that thing in the 300s again and just go ham with the marketing and just say, oh, do you want to pay double and get that? Or do you want to come to our platform? Oh, by the way, we have Game Pass and you can get all our games for this much a month. And if they have a new tier, I don't know what the new tier is, and it offers day and date, holy crap, do they have an opportunity? This is like an opportunity just handed to you. Please take it. Please take it and do something with it. But good God, that's got to suck from like a PlayStation fan perspective. I mean, the console sales have got to dip after this, right? It's insane. There's just a level of like, how much further?
I mean, this is the thing. PlayStation has done an incredible job of selling their boxes, right? A lot of people have bought in them, and that's just fine. Look, it's at the end of the day, the people who really wanted a PlayStation more than likely have a PlayStation, right? You're really just scooping over like the remaining, casuals who stood on PlayStation 4 and we're trying to kind of wait them out to see if they'll come over. And frankly, I just don't see that happening. So I think you're going to see PlayStation shift into like their Switch 2 moment right now, where like everybody who was pumped about it already got it, and now you're kind of left with the stragglers who are on your previous gen who don't want to let go. And the reason being is that your next gen is not doing anything that makes the previous gen people say, wow, I'm missing so much. PlayStation has been the biggest disappointment when it comes to the words next generation in the fucking history of gaming. I've never been more disappointed with a quote unquote next gen console than PlayStation. They utterly failed as a brand. They did nothing to get people who weren't already sucking at the teat of PlayStation to be pumped for PlayStation. They failed. So now they're going ahead and saying, we're going to raise the price. I don't see who lines up to spend this money on this console. I don't see it. Who? Listen, I'm not saying there's not stupid people in the world, and I'm not saying that there's not people who've been saving up to get the PlayStation 5 and are going to be forced to pay the extra because they've been waiting and saving. It's just going to take them longer, but they're eventually going to get it. I just don't think you're going to see a huge number. I think that sharp increase in console sales, or that steady increase in console sales that you've seen from PlayStation in the past, it doesn't look very likely that will continue. Not to say they won't keep going up, but I think the trajectory lowers, right? I think it's a much slower incline, or more shallow incline, so you don't get as many. I just don't see it. I don't see
Well, didn't they
how.
already have a decline last quarter, I think, right? Didn't they? Aren't
It's
they starting to see
possible.
declines now? Yeah.
It's possible. I didn't go too deep into it, but it's very possible. Yeah, I just don't see it. And I see Power Boss in there, and he's saying I'm still thinking 1,500 for Project Helix is on the low end for the launch. I don't think 1,500 will be the low end. I don't think so. I think 1,500 would be like if they gave options with like memory or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like you can get a 32 gigabyte or a 64 gigabyte, right? In that world, yeah, there might be a fucking there might be a $1,500 version. I'm thinking 1,200 is probably the most that you would see a Project Helix box come out at. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that you have a version that launches under 1,000, and then the big boy is 1,200. I think they're going to keep the same idea. They're going to release a high end and a lower end. In this case, I did see some news out there that we might in fact be getting a handheld alongside the box, the next gen box, next year. And in that scenario, I'm looking at them treating it like a Switch, where you're going to go ahead, buy the handheld. It'll come in the dock. It'll be a low power box, similar to Series S, but it'll just be the handheld version of it. And I think that that is going to be the one that they do, and that might very well be under 1,000. I know the Xbox Ally X is more. I don't know if they're going to target that high. I mean, that would be great, but I don't think they'll do that. Or if it's not that, I still think there's going to be a lower model. I don't think they go into next gen with just one SKU. I think they're going to do the double SKU the same
Maybe.
way.
Interesting.
I do I think, and I think it's going to be a way less powerful box, but it's going to be a box that'll give you path tracing, ray tracing, all the tracing, all the high end features, but for 1080p. So whatever level can get you all of that, but at 1080, I think they're still going to release that. I still think they're going to release that box because there's still a shit ton of people who live in 1080p land and they don't go to 4K. And it's not like you have to be only at 1080p. There's a lot of people who have a 4K in their living room for the main thing, but like in their kids' bedrooms, they put the 1080p sets because they're not going to spend the money on a 4K box on every TV. You know what I'm saying? Or a 4K TV in every room, right? So, yeah, I think that I think they saw a lot of success with the Series S, and I think you see them come in with a much lower powered box, but more high powered. It'll probably be the Series X, but geared towards 1080p. You know what I'm saying? So I think you hit a $600-700 price on next gen hardware that focuses on 1080p, but with upscaling and AI and all that shit can get you to 4K, or you buy the box that could get it to you native, and then now you're talking 120 FPS, you're talking all the big boy shit up there with 4K. That is the way I think is going to happen. I don't think 1500 is a viable number for a console, because the higher you go, the more all of a sudden you're literally telling people just buy a fucking PC.
No, to that point, CMoney, on the Xbox side, it's pretty darn close, right? At least you can say, hey, you know what? I kind of am. I can play any PC game, right? That's basically what it's saying.
Sure.
So, but if I buy a PlayStation 6, I'm locked to that ecosystem, right? So I'm not sure if that is good. It is an interesting thing to go to the market and see what this will do, right? Because if it comes out at something like that price, yikes, it's going to be sticker shock big time, right? This is going to be one of those moments where you had the PS3 moment, right? It's like, oh my God. And then right now, by the way, that is the price. $600 is the base model right now. It is pretty crazy that that's where we are, but hey, that is where we are. So it could be that they have that sticker shock. Now there were rumors that there's going to be a lower tier PS6, that they were going to look at a lower tier PS6. And I think it's just because they realized that, oh my God, nobody's gonna buy it. You can't have a box come out at $900. That's crazy. This is gonna be very interesting in the market.
But Hargeet, this is the thing. See, Xbox is living in today's world with high-end tech now. That's why next year you can see the 1,000 plus 1,200 range. PlayStation, the reason they're going to wait 3 years is because they're going to give you today's tech 3 years from now in their box, and it'll be,
and then it'd be cheaper. Yeah, hopefully
it'll
be
cheaper because the world would have moved on to the next thing, and they'll be bringing you old tech and saying, hey guys, come buy a PlayStation 6. It's old shit, but you'll love it. Like, that's literally going to be their pitch.
I think they're trying to outlive the RAM crisis. I think that's really the big one, is if they can get the memory prices to come down, that will help. But we'll see. Like, I think that bubble is bursting, but it might be something that would hit Xbox if they launch next year, maybe, right? So yeah, this is going to be an interesting one. Well, but holy crap. Now I hope Xbox doesn't turn around and up their prices too.
I mean, listen, listen, you got to understand, that's a very possible scenario, because to be clear, the Xbox Series X is not equivalent to the PlayStation 5. It's just not. There's more tech in it. It's more powerful. It costs more to produce.
Yeah.
I don't know at their scale if it costs more to produce, but pound for pound, you're talking about a better box. So they might be like, hey, we got to go up. If you're willing to spend $600 on the PlayStation 5 digital, then $650 is going to make sense for us on, you know, or actually PlayStation 5 is $650. So that's already, the Xbox is already $650, right? For with the disc.
I believe it is, yeah.
Yeah. So if they'll be like, if you're going to spend that there, 700 for us makes sense. Right. But this is the thing. And this is the biggest thing. Again, I talked about it before, but I got to call a spade a spade. When it comes to next gen, when it comes to this, if they went ahead and they came out tomorrow and said, fuck it, I'm going to piggyback on PlayStation's announcement. And since the shock is already out there, we're going to let everybody know we're going to raise our prices on our Series X because, you know, of the economic situation still there for us. I could not look at the two scenarios equally. I cannot, because in one scenario, you have a platform that is delivering a fantastic piece of hardware, and not only are they giving us hardware, but they're spending the money. They're spending the money on us. They are a first-party platform who is acting as first-party platforms should, and they're developing a shit ton of games nonstop that we're getting, with over 6 games already confirmed for this year alone. Over 6 games confirmed for this year alone out of the first-party platform. Okay, big games, not little baby bitch shit, big games. And then they turn around and make sure that those games are given to us in Game Pass day and date. And then it's easy to forget, but that Game Pass subscription that we have is fucking like given so much, like so many games. So many games are put in there day one releases in Game Pass. They're spending the money. So if I'm looking at the scenario and I get a new little thing tomorrow about Xbox raising the price after they gave us a banger of a show with the Xbox partner preview, and they're showing us all these games that they're investing in. They're showing us new game announcements that we didn't know existed, but they're giving it to us day one in Game Pass. They're taking old announcements and saying, hey, we heard your feedback. You like those games. We went out and bought those games for you as Game Pass games. We gave them a bag to put it in Game Pass for you. They did that for us. I can see the money they're spending. So if they say, hey, we ran the numbers to keep doing what we're doing, new people who buy a console, they need to spend another $50 per console. Yo, I wouldn't have a problem. I'll be like, damn, that's crazy. But I could see where the money is coming from. I could see what they're spending on us. And I could see, okay, at least that makes sense. What fucking scenario exists for PlayStation, who is not spending any money, any real money on games anymore? Like 1 or 2 games a year is not it. Is not it. You're not leveraging dollars like that to be like, oh my God, we're in such a horrible situation. It's just not. It's just not. It's just what it is. You're not making a shit ton of games. So if you're going to go ahead and increase the cost of your consoles, but you're not increasing your output, you're not doing anything extra for your fans, no, that's fucking crazy. That's crazy. That's a fucking waste. That's a waste. So yeah, that's just on some other shit. I can't justify this. I can't say, yeah, it makes sense because look at all what they're spending over at PlayStation. They spend the shit. They're closing shit. They're closing studios. They're canceling games. They're investing nothing in PlayStation Plus. They're not spending anything on first-party output. It's all old tech shit that they're pushing forward. They're not doing anything, bro. That's crazy. That's crazy. There's no justification. There's no way that fucking works. This is just them asking for more money Yes, because it costs them more money to make. Sure, but they're not doing anything outside of this realm. And I told you, man, PlayStation, they're done. Sony is done with PlayStation. That's just a clear scenario here. And when I say they're done with PlayStation, I mean they're done with the investment part of it. They walk back all their investments. All their investments got walked back. Everything they spent money on, cancel, close. Sony is not looking at PlayStation as a growth vector for them where they're saying, oh, we're going to invest all this extra money because we're planning to grow this. No. What they're doing is exactly what that lady, the financial lady, told everybody. We're going to find more ways to make more money off our existing people and the people who want to come into this ecosystem. That's what they're doing. They're raising the price on consoles for people who want to come in for the first time, for people who want to buy second consoles, right? This is what they're doing. They're milking you. And then they're taking your franchises, these games that were once beloved, and they're giving you bullshit fucking expansions, bullshit sequels, shit that's literally not pushing any boundaries anymore, not taking anything to the next level. They're doing nothing except taking the stories that they wrote and turning them into TV shows, taking the stories that they wrote, turn them into the movies. Bro, if you never saw something low budget that looks so shitty, go look at the pictures of God of War and the fucking bootlegged motherfucker they cast as Kratos. That is he looks like a goddamn clown in that fucking costume. Like, it is crazy. It is crazy that that's the investment that they're making. They literally are doing the least amount of anything for this fucking Sony is out, dog. They're out. They're looking to milk the PlayStation brand, to milk it. They're not looking to invest. They're not looking to grow it. They're looking to milk it. That's all they want to do. And it's insane. On the flip side of that, you got people saying that Xbox is dead, yet they came out here and gave the best showcases this year, bar none. They did nothing but give crazy amount of games into Game Pass, Xbox Play Anywhere. These are all huge investments. And they're doing that for Xbox players, right? We reap all the benefits. We get everything, where these PlayStation situations are crazy. They're getting nothing, dude. They're getting nothing. And no, John, I see you, player. Thank you for being here, man. No, they're not looking to milk Xbox. Who's looking to milk Xbox? PlayStation?
PlayStation.
Or PlayStation? How's PlayStation looking to milk Xbox?
I don't know. I'm guessing. I don't know.
I don't know. That makes no sense to me. Are you suggesting that because Xbox is treating their fan base on PlayStation as hoes and just taking their dollars for everything they got, have them tricking on the street for them? Yeah, you're right. Xbox they do got these PlayStation fans twerking for sure. They definitely twerking for them games. Absolutely. PlayStation ain't milking shit from Xbox. They're just being taken advantage of for sure. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. What do you think about this, Hargeet? When you think about these price increases, when you think about, what this means for next gen, what this means, even when you think about the backing of each brand and what it means if Xbox raises prices, but you can see the investment that Xbox is making nonstop into its ecosystem, whereas on PlayStation, they're raising the prices. You see nothing. There's nothing to fucking talk about. Give us some bars, man. What are you thinking, bro?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of what you're saying is an issue that they do have to look at, right? It's kind of where they are. Like, they closed another studio. They from a Sony perspective, they just got hit with a lawsuit where Sony Music lost the secondary copyright thing. I don't know if you heard about that. It was $1 billion judgment that they lost. So that's another hit to them. they're still looking at that judgment in UK, I think it is, for whether they're a monopoly for the store issue, right? That's still going on, the digital store access. And then they just canceled the EV cars that Sony was doing.
Oh yeah, I saw that
dead.
shit. Bro, it was
like,
but it
Jesus,
was a
dude.
CES.
Yeah,
They
they
showed
had it there, right?
2 months ago.
And yeah, that's all canceled now. And it's like, dude, so like they are, and now they're very close to finalizing the deal of TCL taking over their TVs. And you're like, dude, what is Sony?
You're about to get a TCL PlayStation 6. They're telling you.
What is so I mean, you're right. They're dead on in that, like, they're milking what they've got, and they're cutting back on everything that might be even remotely like risky. And they're like, yeah, we're not doing that anymore. I still don't know where Marathon sits. I have not heard any solid numbers here or there that, you know, they're okay, they're not okay. I heard Destiny has tanked, and I'm just hoping it's shifted to Marathon. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Bungie, but there's a possibility that studio goes. I still think there are more studios to be closed. That's just my expectation. So they are kind of just hunkering down to drive it. It sounds like the opposite of where Xbox was in this mode a couple of years ago, where they're like, it always seems like they're a couple of years behind Xbox, right? Where it's like, oh, we need to drive more profit at the expense of the things that were fun. And that kind of seems to be the mode they're in now, right? And everything seems to just go in that direction. Look, I don't know what this means for them going forward. Everybody assumes that markets stay stable. They don't. Like, you can easily piss people off enough that they're like, F you, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm going to elsewhere, right? And if your competitors market and cannibalize your market share by doing the right things, like making the right steps, they can just easily eat up like, it happens. It totally can happen. And it just depends. Like, on the flip side of what's happening on Xbox is you have a new person coming in hungry to get the market, right? She wants those customers. She's like, how do I get people to want to be on Xbox, right? So it's like a golden opportunity of, like, your rival is doing everything kind of the wrong way, and you have an opportunity to say, hey, we're doing everything the right way. They just had a showcase of, like, most of the games they showed are coming day to day in Game Pass, right? And it's a huge variety of games, right? And so you can market the heck out of that. You still have the cheapest box. If somebody wants to come into current gen, wants to be on this, on the Xbox side, you still have the cheapest box. You can start doing better marketing campaigns, bring that, do a good sale, right? And start selling that, like, lower tier box. This is the time, like, right now, people want deals. And that box is a steal at the $400 even. But if they can make it 300 again, holy crap. Like, that would be like a throwback to the 80s and 90s when you had $300 consoles. Like, this is nuts, right? That we have to think about it in those terms, right? But it's a reality. So, they have that opportunity. So, like, take advantage of it. But yeah, this is not great for, like, Sony's in an interesting place. I don't know what their future holds, but we will see if they can kind of meander through this and be okay. But a lot of things are hitting them from different ways. On the flip side, they're still making money. I don't want to say they're dead, but they do have these headwinds that they have to deal with.
PlayStation's making money for sure.
Yeah. And Sony as well. So, but look, what I would also say there are headwinds on the Xbox side. Well, not Xbox side, but the Microsoft side, because they bet big on AI, and AI is sort of, it's not failing, but it's not exactly taking off either, right? So it's
finding its groove. It will.
Yeah.
It's 100% going to infiltrate everything. So the bet is correct to make. It's just it's fine. It has to settle. It has to settle.
And there's a lot of pushback, right? There's a lot of, like, anxiety in the populace about AI, and that's stuff that needs to be worked through. Fair enough, right? So there's a lot of challenges there too, right? So, but Microsoft's also sitting on a very better position than Sony, right? They have hundreds of billions in the bank. They can sustain a lot more. That doesn't mean they won't do things to pivot, and that could mean changes on their side. But it looks like at least the Xbox side, what Asha is looking at is more investment mode and trying to drive growth, which is great. That's what we want to hear, right? Because that means better stuff for us. So ultimately, that's what I'm looking at. Like, you know,
See,
one
but that's
side
what
is
you, real
cutting.
quick. You just said better stuff for us, right? And like this is where the clear the difference is. Xbox, their plan to growth is by catering to us more and more, giving
Exactly.
us more and more. PlayStation's plan of growth is we're going to give you nothing and find a way to take everything. Like
Yep.
that is such a crazy mentality that somehow these PlayStation fanboys choose to ignore and try to glorify in some way. And the media pays no attention to it. Like it's the craziest shit. They should be singing Xbox's name from the rooftops because they have been doing nothing but fucking invest. If PlayStation has a state of play and shows you games coming out, that's all they did was show you games that are coming out. They didn't show PlayStation players, hey, because you're PlayStation, you're going to get this game in your subscription. Hey, because you're a PlayStation, when you buy this game, we're going to give you a PC version of the game. That's not what happens. There's nothing special about a PlayStation showcase. Nothing. Xbox does a showcase. They fucking say, hey, you're watching this show. You probably have an Xbox. Guess what? You're probably subscribed to Game Pass. You know what we just showed you? We showed you 19 games. 14 of those games are in Game Pass. Come on, man. How are we having this, this discussion where these people act like this is okay for PlayStation to just take and never give?
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of the world we're in. I don't know. At some point, it's going to hit. I just don't know what that tipping point is. But remember, the $600 point was enough to cause the PS3 to sputter when it came out, right? The $600 messaging was not good. And so we will see, does that work or not? Right now, their default, their base level is $600. When that next gen comes out and it says, you know, and let's say the market stabilizes for memory and storage and everything comes down, they're able to sell you that box. It ain't going to be cheaper than the PS5 Pro. So the PS5 Pro was $700 when it launched. I can see at least $700, at least for that PS6. That's probably reasonable. It's probably more. Just to be safe, it'll probably
the
be more,
PlayStation 5 Pro would have to be lowered to 500 or
it would have to come down
at that point.
It would have to come
which
down.
they're not going to do.
But, so that's the problem, right? And so at least 700, but likely higher. What is that sticker shock going to look like, right? Because when they launched, they could say, hey, we launched at $400. They did. They absolutely did. Now, it was like 5% of the consoles were $400. 95% were the one with the disk drive. So you had to pay $500. But they could say, no, we launched at $400. That was our launch. That's fair. You can't say that when your launch console is going to be like $700 or $800. You say, okay, well, is that something the market's going to absorb? And people will say, well, inflation. Nobody cares. People don't see inflation. They see the number and say, you want how much? That's all
they don't care
do.
the why. The why doesn't matter. All that matters is what it actually means to them.
It's the sticker shock. You're like, bro, what? No, I can buy a TV for that. No, I'm like, what do you want? No. So it's going to be very crazy. We will see. We will see what happens. It's going to be very interesting to see that. On the Xbox side, again, they have that one little caveat that it's like, even if it is a little bit more, you're getting basically a gaming PC that acts like a console. So you have the beauty of the PC for gaming and a console. So it kind of gives you like an additional feature set that kind of makes it more viable. Also, it has Game Pass, which is kind of a nice thing, right? And you don't have to build your own PC, even get a homebrew PC and deal with PC-ness. It's still, I'm pretty sure it's still going to have the standard Xbox OS, and it's going to be Xbox versions of games, but we have yet to see. I'm not going to stake my claim and say it's going to be that way, but I think it's going to be that way. which will just make it an easy way to get into gaming with PC capability, right? So that is going to be a very interesting, market choice for people. Much like you take the Steam machine, it's kind of giving you that. There was a lot of excitement behind that because that's what it's doing. It gives you a console interface with a PC library, and that is something people actually do kind of want to have. So
The
we will
problem
see
with
what
that
that does.
Steam machine is the power profile, and that's why there's not more excitement for it. That's not why
Yeah.
there's people going crazy for it. It's because it is it's basically a Series S. It's not the same exact power, but in the world of PC gaming, it is a lower spec PC, right? It's just not
Yeah, I mean, it
as
might match
impressive.
the PS5, right? But
Yeah,
but
but
yeah,
in the
it's
world of PC, that's dog shit. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? Like that's not it. And the problem, when you think about, the Steam machine, I always said it from the beginning, that was never for anybody other than Steam people, right? So it's only for the people who are already heavily invested in Steam, and whether or not they want to have like a secondary, place to get one without having to buy another PC for it. Or maybe they just want to put it on their living room with like zero hassle. But even that is so difficult because as much as the big picture mode or whatever works great, for the most part, it really is still not like problem free. So the problem that PlayStation has is that PlayStation's MO is console sales. So what does the future hold for a PlayStation 6 when it's not going to be console sales? You're not going to get a shit ton. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, I don't know. And that is the big question mark, right? At least for Microsoft, even if the consoles don't sell, A, they're putting their games everywhere. B, they have the other big platform, which is Windows. So
Yep.
they still have that opportunity. And because of that, people are buying their software to develop games. They're working on their platform. They're also buying their back end for a lot of games. And so, Helldivers 2 is doing well. Well, it's all running on Microsoft's back end. So they're making money off of that game no matter what. Even when it wasn't on Xbox, they were still making money off of that game. Right. So that's just part and parcel of the whole Xbox ecosystem is they have the back end, they have the front end, they have everything available. And so they're still making money no matter what. They also happen to have some of the black hole games that I guess maybe you could say Destiny was like that, but like that's kind of
So
gone. So I don't think
Destiny is at currently right now as we speak 8,000 players.
yeah, I know
8,800, almost
it
9,000
cratered.
players.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
cratered.
and as a
It's gone.
24-hour peak was 11,000, 10,900.
Yeah, yeah.
And
It's
Marathon is basically taking I think you're right. It literally swapped places with Destiny.
yeah.
So Destiny used to average in that 30 to 40,000 player range, and that's where
Marathon
Marathon is
players.
living right now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I would say the one thing you
Yeah.
can say about Marathon is regardless of how you cut it, um, they successfully moved most of their Destiny fan base to their new game because they're not doing anything with Destiny anymore. So that was a success in at least in that scenario. Um, but goddamn, is Destiny pretty much on its way out? So, like, was Bungie's success tied to the fact that they had Destiny and Marathon was supposed to increase Bungie's, output every month? You know what I'm saying? Like, was Marathon supposed to increase it because Destiny was supposed to keep going and Marathon was supposed to do it? And that was supposed to be the goal. So now they're not in a great place because Marathon just took, let's be clear, Destiny's peak when Destiny was hot, it was way higher than where
Correct. Yeah,
Marathon
yeah, yeah. It
has
was much
settled
higher than
out.
that.
So
But
basically, if PlayStation was looking at Destiny like, oh man, wow, you guys fucking shit the bed. You guys, this is all you guys are doing. If they were thinking that, there's no way they could be thinking better about Marathon. If anything, this is horrible because this is still
yeah.
hype time. this is still while the people are hyped about this game. What's going to happen in a few months when people are done with it?
It starts to tank. I mean, hopefully they add more content, but
I mean,
regardless, I was just looking at Black Hole Games. At least, Xbox has several of them, so they just keep making money off them. Candy Crush, for instance, is just a massive game that just keeps generating cash. They still have COD. They still have Minecraft, which is a big game. So they just keep making money off of those things. So they at least generate that revenue. I don't know that there's an equivalent for PlayStation. I think their biggest would have been Destiny. I don't know if they you could look at maybe Helldivers and say, does that make a lot of money? I don't know. But it's not this, level where I could say that is a black hole game that people just constantly spend money in. It's not a Fortnite, for instance. Even Fortnite is cratering, which is not great news, but it is what it is.
If you think about it, it's cratering, yet it's still number one on the weekly played list. So that's to show you that's cratering and it's still number one. How far down the other games on the list are.
Yeah, that's the problem, right? So this is kind of the world they're in. I know they've tried to hit as many potential options here with trying to get a games as a service off the ground. It's not easy to do, and as we found out, it's really just kind of not happened. Marathons is the closest they've had as a success outside of Helldivers, which is I don't know, second party, what do we call it, but that's not their game, but they own the IP. That's the best they've had, and everything else is kind of whatever. It hasn't really gone too far. MLB does its MLB thing. Apparently the latest MLB the show was not that great, but whatever.
They did the same thing. You would think that MLB the show would be immune, but they're doing the same thing. They're milking it. They're taking the old version of the game. There's no increase in quality. This is a roster update, and they are masquerading it as a new game, and it's just a fucking roster update. There's nothing exciting about it. They even used an old fucking cover athlete because they didn't want to go get a pay for a new one. So it's like, bro, everything revolving around PlayStation sucks donkey dick. And this is the sad world that we live in. Let me get real quick, Hargeet, before you keep going, because we have Broke Boy. We're going to do a quick detour with my boy, Broke Boy. Thank you, brother, for being here. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Says, okay, PC guys, which GPU? Getting a new PC, AMD 9070 or 5070 Ti. Not familiar with AMDs. I know they're cheaper. Prices about $200 less for AMD. I can tell you right now, I don't know how the fuck you would ever consider, if you're free from a console, if you're free from the shackles of a console, why would you ever go to an AMD GPU? The only place you can get the greatness of graphics is on PC, and NVIDIA is the holder of that title. They have all the goodness. Don't do it. Why would you lose the ability? You're about to, DLSS 5 is coming out, and you're going to go on AMD? Come on, man. It's 50 series. The only way. This is the only answer. There can't be anything else. What do you think, Hargeet? Am I bugging?
I fully agree. If you're going to get a PC graphics card, NVIDIA is the way. The level of tech that in software and hardware that NVIDIA has is just a generation or two higher than what AMD has. If you're spending the money right now, I mean, if you can afford it, get a 5080. But if your 5070 Ti is perfectly good, but if you want to, even go further, try to afford the 5080.
5090, baby.
5090 is a waste. I understand. Like for me and you, it's fine. We'll go spend the money. But if it's too much and it's out of your budget, don't worry about it. Get a 5080. That's great. 5070 Ti also great. But definitely the NVIDIA side. It's just not close. Yeah, unfortunately, it's just not close. I would definitely go with the 50. You just saw what they showed with DLSS 5. It's not DLSS, but whatever. The tool suite they're showing you, that's only available in the 50 series, right? So that's not going to be on the AMD series. So they might eventually get neural rendering with RDNA 5, which again, we don't know how well that's going to work in comparison to what NVIDIA will already have had out, because they'll be on version 2 by the time this thing comes out.
Yeah, it's not going to compete directly, but it'll be close. Like you'll still be happy that it's there. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like AMD with ray tracing and path tracing right now. It's like, okay, is nice. Is not Nvidia nice. So like, yes,
Yeah.
are we going to be
No, I
happy
would
with Project Helix? Yes. Is it
yeah.
going to be better than what Nvidia produces? No. So like, if
Yeah,
you're
I would
ever going to
hands down NVIDIA.
ever have both versions, you got to go Nvidia on the graphics
Yep.
card. It's just is what it is. They're just so far ahead. So shout out to you, broke boy. Hope that helped. Mac22TH54 in the middle with that $5 super chat. Appreciate your brother. Says CMoney. Sony stock closed today at $19.09. Bro, I can't even take my kids out for a fucking McDonald's trip for for less than $19.90. And that's what their stock closed at. That's crazy. Yo, that's wild. Microsoft Xbox closed at $356. Yeah. And that's after a 2% drop. As P Love says, hashtag make it make sense. Shaking my head. Hashtag how is this a thing? Yeah. I mean, the conversation is just crazy. Like you're comparing a Titan to a fucking mosquito. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just
Yeah.
crazy. It's not even the same league. So
Yeah, next gen will
we
be
do have
very interesting.
it is. We got Broke Boy back with that $2 super chat. Says anyone order their Xbox 25th anniversary clothing? I did, and I did see it. It looks really cool. But
Oh,
apparently,
they
so
put
that's
that
why
out
they
too?
yeah, they closed
Holy
the
fuck.
shop though. So they have like a different company who's selling it.
Okay.
I
got to check it out. Let me see store.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. I like the hoodie, the zip up hoodie. I fuck with that. I might have to put it on my my birthday list for the Doodle. Doodle, if you hear me. That's right. Xbox gear. New shit. Might need to cop that. Just saying. Broke boy, you're not wrong. I see your chat. You're not wrong. But it is true, man. It is true. It's Nvidia. It's the only way. It's the answer. It's the answer. Listen, and to be clear, if you really think about it, Xbox is team green, Nvidia's team green. It's just it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna live a dual life, you might as well keep the same colors. You know what I'm saying? It works out. All right. So I do want to go really quick to this here. Thought it was is this it? Yeah. All right. So let me go like this. Bring this in. Bam. Okay. So check this out, Hargeet. And I mean, we've kind of danced around this, but Matt Piscatella has a message he put out, and I figure we could talk about it a little bit and get your take on it. And Hectic World facts, OG Xbox was Nvidia. Yes, that's why they were amazing in comparison to every other console that existed. And then they went full AMD. God damn it. Okay, so Matt Piscatella says, as video game hardware prices continue to jump rapidly, this market will lose presence in middle income households, while lower income households may be removed entirely. Video game players can be expected to shift to low barrier of entry, more accessible gaming options as they get priced out. If dedicated gaming devices are available only to the rich, it will be, in my opinion, a very, very bad thing for gaming overall. So, what is your thought on that? Because this is my thing. I agree, but I feel a little bit like it's a little hyperbole because it's like, fam, like the series generation and the Switch, right? Like they're not gone because next gen consoles come out. And again, I think we're pretty clear here with the future plan that is, even when Helix comes out, even if and when there's ever a PlayStation 6, like third-party games will release on the series generation, bar none. They're all going to come out. I don't think there'll be any exclusives, especially on Project Helix, to be clear, because of their stack, right? You're making one game and it's scaling for you, right? It's scaling for you. So you're not literally don't have to make the decision. It's just, hey, I made my game, and Xbox is going to take that game and put it where it needs to be with the power profiles. Obviously, the dev will have input, but you get what I'm saying. It's going to be a very easy scenario for a dev to make their game scale. So no one's getting left behind. So if you already have an Xbox or you already have a PlayStation 5, next generation is not going to like exclude you. You're just not going to, I mean, you'll be excluded from buying the next generation, but this conversation is just shifting. Okay. I'm telling you, like, understand this is going to be a very similar scenario to PC gaming. That's where we're going. Okay. That's the future of all gaming, is going to be like PC gaming, bar maybe Nintendo, where right now, these consoles that are out are your entry point. This is it. This is the place that you're going to get in to this generation. If you want to be able to play any game that releases over the course of the next 10 years, this generation will give it to you. You're not going to miss out. They're not going to abandon this generation unless you can get to a world where, and I highly doubt it, but where next generation consoles, something happens in the world of pricing where you can get the Helix at some point in the future, maybe years down the line. But if you could get that down to like $500 or $400, that will be a whole different discussion, right? Then you could start seeing the world pivot to like, all right, maybe we'll only target next gen, because now at that price, we can give people a reason to jump up. But at these high, crazy prices, that's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So, like, they're not going to let 40 million people go hungry, for the 10 million that may upgrade, right? Like, it's just not going to happen. So you're not left behind. I don't feel like this is like, I feel like, yes, you're going to be out of the zeitgeist of a next gen, but let's be clear. Are you upset that NVIDIA released a 5090? You know what I'm saying? No, because it doesn't have anything to do with you. You didn't miss out on Resident Evil 9, right? You didn't miss out on any of these games. You missed out on experiencing those games the way that the people who own high-end PC graphics cards do, for sure. But you still got the game, right? So you're just going to, you just have the quote-unquote lesser experience, but it's not lesser to you because you don't know better. You didn't experience the greatness, so it won't hurt you. It's just that the people who do go ahead and upgrade will get this phenomenal experience that only they will have. But Hargeet, what do you think about this? And Matt Piscatella.
So look, there's people who are going to play games, right? That is what they want to do for entertainment, and they will buy what they want to buy, right? There are those who are more casual who say, hey, it's $200 on sale. I want to pick it up just because it's an impulse buy. That will not happen if it's $900, right? Even if it's on sale for $800, because that's like a, should we be spending this kind of money kind of decision, right? It's not a simple, like, I can just snap it. Yeah, I'll spend $100.
Let me go grab that.
Okay.
Yep.
Fair enough. Right. But when it gets to a certain level, it's like, okay, that's a is this in the budget type of decision, right? And that makes it much more challenging, and of course we're in the US with a very, very high standard of living. There are plenty of people around the world where that's an insane amount of money, and they're like, yeah, no, it's not gonna happen. So I get all that. To that point, there are other price points available. And you've mentioned that, right? So not everybody has to spend that kind of money. Xbox just released 2 consoles with the ROG Xbox Ally and and the Ally X, but the Ally is a reasonably priced. People may not accept it, but it's a reasonably priced device. I think it's on sale at like the 500-ish mark, right? So that's an available device, and you can plug that into your TV and just play your games. Now, is it going to play the games with every bell and whistle? No, but it will play the games. So you kind of have to take your position of what's affordable to you and say, am I going to spend that kind of money? Like when the 6090 comes out, you and I are probably just going to jump and buy it, right? That's the way it is. Is that everybody?
I will not get played like I did with the 5090. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, right. So, like, is that going to happen with everybody? Of course not, right? But that's okay. That's the market, right? Not everybody's going to buy high end. You get into the market the way you want to. What will go away, to Matt's point, is that impulse buy, because it won't be cheap enough. It really needs to be in that gray zone of where it's like, okay, I can spend this without having to justify it, right? It's just fun. I'll just spend it, this kind of money to have some fun with it, right? But when it's like it's $600, $700, $800, $900, $1,000, you're like, okay, hold on, I got to think about that. Right now, I got to put it in my budget, right? For most people, that's where they are. That's what he's getting at, and I get that. I totally get that, and that will drive some of this console market down. And we already see it with the Switch 2, where it's a little lower than the expectations that Nintendo had, because it is a little bit higher, right? That went from 300 to 450 as the base, and that was quite a jump. It's a 50% increase in price. Granted, it's only 150 more, but it's still, the sticker shock hits when that thing's like $300. Like, I can pick that up. That's okay. $300. Okay, that's getting to the edge of it, but that's okay, right? When you saw the light, is that what it was called? The lower tier one that you couldn't take the Joy-Cons off. I think that was in the 200 range,
Yeah.
250, right? So okay, that becomes much more impulse. At that point, you're like, I can pick that up. Hey, they have a cool one. It's yellow, or it's got these characters on. I want to pick. You can just pick that up, right? But when it's like, hey, this is $700. Well, do I really need that? That's kind of how it becomes a problem. And to your point, people will just stay on the older systems if they have them. And I think that targeting of older systems is going to remain for a while. Like we've been saying, the PS5 series consoles, they're going to stay around for a while, because there's just no reason you couldn't target games to them, especially when you have brand new hardware coming out, like the Steam Machine. You got like the ROG and all those that are lower power than the Series X or PS5. You're like, dude, why would I not be able to target these machines for new games that are going to come out for the next 5-10 years easy, right? So it's going to keep happening. I think that's going to be the low tier. That's what's going to end up happening for now. But he's not wrong in that as the prices escalate, it becomes more and more of a problem. Now, look, there are other headwinds in the world. We can forget that, but generally, if things weren't macroeconomically horrible, you would have your salaries go up to a point where this could kind of dissipate and be a little bit easier. But if that doesn't happen, it can become problematic. So I don't know. It's an interesting point. I'm not going to say that we should dismiss it. I think he's got a point here. However, there are options for players, different options available, and then so they can take that. And then at some point, that impulse buy thing is going to be problematic, and I don't know how you solve that, because it's probably not going to happen that you're going to have very low cost devices. But then again, what was this number one selling console thingy that happened last the selling season?
The next Playground.
Yeah, there was this weirdo thing that I had never heard about. Right?
Yeah, I have it.
Yeah,
and they never use it again. They played it when it first came, and they fucking let that shit sit there like an asshole. It just sits there.
So
it's stupid, little ass box doing nothing.
But yeah, so could something like that come around and be useful? I don't know, right? And so we'll see where this goes. But he has a point. Unfortunately, there will be that segment of players where it's going to become too much for them to bother, and so they'll just not do gaming. The other thing is, though, despite my hating it, there is cloud gaming. If you absolutely want to play that way, you can, right? And so you can obviously, whenever you actually want to play a game, you just say, I'll subscribe to some cloud service, whichever one you like, play your game, and then stop, right? So that's another entry point, right? If it gets too high, that could be a way to mitigate it, right? So, but yeah, this is just kind of the way it is. That's unfortunate. I don't know if we're ever going to get to the point of saying, you know what, we don't need to have the box be that ridiculous. Let's cut it back and just make games that work on that box. That's how we got those really cheap boxes. We had very skimped boxes that barely had enough anything, but then you just made the games work on it. That was basically it. And that was how you were able to get very cheap hardware. But like so I don't know if that's gonna happen again. I think everybody's kind of given up on that and they just basically make PCs. Even the Switch is just an Android device. So like at this point we're kind of like in that mode. I don't know if anybody's gonna change all that. So I think we're kind of stuck with it. It's just the way it is.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. I mean, to that end, I did have this question that I wanted to kind of bring up, and maybe less of a question, but more just like a thought piece we could talk about a little bit. So you know, the one thing I will say about the fact that we are now going to be essentially forced into keeping this generation around, right? This is not going anywhere. It's not, I wouldn't even look at it as a generation anymore. I just look at it as, where we are in gaming. And if there's ever any increases or new tech, that's great. But this stage is not going anywhere. So I like the thought that I have on it though, is that I do feel like it's a benefit to a certain group of people. And that group of people are the developers. I feel like the developers and the studios are now going to be in a place where you're not chasing this whole new thing where now you have to, you can make 1 or 2 games and then have to figure out a whole new stack for a new console, right? Like that's all gone now. And with companies like Xbox doing what they're doing, you're really now in this world where like it's almost, even though it's stretched out longer, you're going to get back to like Xbox 360 times where people were making an entire series of games in one generation, right? Like in one generation, you got multiple games. What we got? Gears 1, 2, and 3, right? If I'm not mistaken, 1, 2, and 3 were all, and Judgment, if I'm not mistaken, maybe not Judgment. I don't remember that 100%. But you got all the Gears games in the Xbox 360 generation, right? And they were able in this with the same piece of hardware constantly make things look better. And in the Xbox One generation and PlayStation 4 generation, we saw that the budgets took longer and things like that I mean, I'm not the budgets. The game development time took longer, budgets were bigger. But the problem that I had was going from Xbox One and PlayStation 4 to Series X and PlayStation 5 was that there wasn't a big jump, right? For PlayStation, right? Xbox definitely did some jumps over time, but PlayStation still hasn't done any fucking jumps. So the point is with this is that now you are going to be in a scenario where with the same piece of hardware within the same generation, people who did push a little bit in the beginning are going to be able to fine tune that and give you multiple games within this one generation. So, people who own this generation are going to get the maximum amount for their dollars, right? Because you're going to have devs who are making better looking games in the same generation because of the fact that now they're more familiar with the tech, they're building it out more, they're increasing the capabilities of what they're doing. And I think it's going to be a big deal for them. I think they're going to get more money over this generation coming up because it's going to cost them less money to iterate on the tech that they have. They don't need a new engine to run on the same generation if they already built an engine for this generation, right? So if they already upgraded the capabilities, now they're just going to finesse it, right? You're just going to get better and better output from these devs who have had time to really sit in it, right? Now they're going to kind of sit in that pocket and just kind of crank out games using the capabilities they already have. What do you think about that? What do you think about the impact to devs, big and small, frankly, that are now going to be able to kind of trust that this generation isn't going anywhere, even when the new stuff is out? Because they're going to definitely be able to scale up. They already do it for PC, right? So scaling up is easy. Going down is the hard part, right? So if they have this baseline that they could keep finessing, even Series S, you think about how people talk about Series S or even the Switch 2, once you're in the zone and you can keep iterating on that same piece of hardware for your next game and your next game, there's going to be a lot more output that's going to be higher quality. And again, at a lower cost to the devs overall, I think.
Yeah, as the engines become more efficient, right? They can handle things better. If the development kits handle a lot of things for you, that's even better. So there's also all the things that people hate AI. AI could actually come
Yep.
in and help you tune your game, right? Get it working on everything, and then make it as performant as possible. Um, so yeah, that's always a possibility. The other big problem, though,
Uh-oh. Am
is
I
to make
frozen?
sure.
Okay.
Yes, your
Hargeet, you
video is
froze
frozen.
for you froze for a second on my screen and I couldn't hear you.
Okay, I don't know if it was me then. So I don't know how much of that people heard, but
You
uh,
said another problem is, or one problem is, or something like that, and then you just went away. So it heard no problem.
okay, so another problem is that I think it was developers I was talking about, is developers need somebody to
Yep.
target, right? They need to sell their game, and if they can't sell to an audience that isn't there, so that's gonna be a problem if people don't buy the consoles or buy into gaming, right? So Um, again, we're dooming and glooming. We don't know that that's going to be the case, right? So, people who want to play will play. Casual people who normally would choose a different form of entertainment, who might have chosen this because it was reasonably priced, might do something different. Fair enough, right? But I don't know how much of a percent of the like gaming population that is. So we'll just have to see how that plays out. The other thing that could happen is there's a market disruption potential for Android to become a gaming platform. And if that happens, right, there's always a way for that to make it cheaper, right? So it will not perform the same levels, but it may not be a problem. It may be that that's good enough for a lot of people to get in, right? So if that's an okay thing, we can see maybe that'll work, right? But again, there's potential for disruption. There's always ways for people to see, and that's what open markets do. They look at the market and say, that thing looks like it's too much. The demand is for something cheaper. I can make that cheaper. Let me do it, right? And somebody will come up with a way and say, yeah, maybe you don't need the whiz bang DLSS 7.2 or whatever. Maybe you just need enough to be able to start the game, play it, and have fun, right? And I can provide that for you at a reasonable price. Okay, cool, right? If somebody can come up with a way to do that, go for it. That's so we can see what happens, right? That's the beauty of an open market. We'll see if somebody comes in and says, I can disrupt this. Let me find a way to do that. Could it be one of the current platform holders? Sure, it could, but maybe they're too ingrained in what they have, and maybe there's expectations of what they should do. It would have been interesting for Nintendo to do another, the revolutionary thing they usually do, right? Is instead of just coming up with a Rev 2, they do something totally different and try to disrupt the market again, which is what they usually do. So it would have been kind of interesting to see how they would do that. But hey, like that's kind of the way it could potentially go. We can see, we'll see. We'll see what they do, right? So let's see what happens with the with the market as it keeps going. I think eventually it solves itself, right? The market will solve itself because gamers want to play, and then developers want to sell to gamers. That's the point, right? You want to put out games that people want to play, right? And so if there's no gamers, there's no like development. So from one perspective, you're right. It'll be easier for developers to make games, but who are they selling it to? And so that has to follow as well, right? So as long as we can kind of make that happen, great. The industry will continue. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Agreed. Agreed. Um, I did want to bring this up over here very quickly. Let me grab this. All right, here we go. So, I have this tweet here from Khalif Adams. I had the pleasure of meeting Khalif over at GDC this year. Spent a lot of time talking to him. Really
Shout out
dope
to Khalif.
dude. Really dope dude. Shout out to Khalif.
Yeah.
Had great conversations with him. Had a lot of laughs. He was a really dope guy. So we were talking, and he's cool and shit. But this is something I saw, and I thought it kind of really painted a picture here of where where we're going to be when we look at this. He says the price hike plus moving away from PC releases really boxes in PlayStation fans. We don't know what Helix is going to cost, but Xbox fans will have more options in terms of where they can play if they don't want to buy new console hardware. We are all in a very new era. Buckle up. And this, I think, alludes to something that you brought up, which is, this is an Xbox, right? Bad marketing, right? People did not like that. Cool. But the sentiment, the reality of it still stands. And Khalif has a great point. It's like, well, guess what? When those new games come out for Xbox, you can stream it if you don't want to upgrade, right? You can stream it if you don't want to. If you have a PC, you can play it on PC. You don't have to go buy the next console. If your old ass PC will play Project Helix games, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're safe on the Xbox side. And I thought that was a great point, kind of what we've spoken about, but kind of very succinct way of looking at it. It's like it's very like Xbox fans and PlayStation fans are very different boats right now. You know what I'm saying? Like Xbox is on a cruise line that is not about to sink. Where PlayStation is on a boat, on a little tugboat out in the the Arctic, dodging icebergs, and just don't know at night. You know what I'm saying? You don't know when they're going to hit it, because as a fan, you don't know what the scenario is going to look like. You don't know if your investment could go to shit. If Sony comes into, if PlayStation comes into saying, here's the PlayStation 6, fuck your old generation, you guys better come buy the PlayStation 6, but it costs an astronomical amount of money, like there's no other way in for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, what other way do you get to partake in a PlayStation game if they lock it down behind a PlayStation 6?
You mean without emulation?
Without emulation, assuming that they're not emulating type people.
Yeah. Look, I mean, this is, and it also just kind of seems odd then that PlayStation would want to move in that direction if they know that they're going to be putting out a console that's going to be substantially more expensive, and it's likely to cause like lower sales. We will see where this goes, but it's totally accurate. That's exactly the problem, right? You're locking your store. Further, you have the, nobody else can sell digital codes thing. This might be something that's disrupted by regulators. We'll see. But as far as where they are, yeah, it kind of sucks. But look, you point this out all the time. They have one game a year. Like, who cares? Oh, they're going to take away PC releases for the one game a year because everything else is going to come up multi-plat. They've already said it. They're third-party games. They've been doing it. You can see it. They're coming out on PC day and date, or they come a little bit later. But they're putting those games, like the lockdowns at Death Stranding, for instance. It came to PC. It's coming to PC. A lot of the other ones they had locked down were day and date PC, right? Like, most of their games are going to be multi-platform. It's going to be the one game a year, and it's like, well, okay, is that enough of a draw? I don't think it is. A lot of gamers don't even spend time in those games. They spend time, we already know it's like 80% of the market or something ridiculous. All they do is play the black hole games. That's it. Right. And it's like, okay, if that's where the majority of the gaming is happening. Then the small percent, the 20%, they have to then spread that across everything else that's out there. I think it's even a lower percentage, but it's something so ridiculous. And, it's saying, okay, out of that, I'm going to spend time on either a Switch, which has all the Nintendo exclusives, a PlayStation, which has one game a year, or, PC, which has bloody everything, and then Xbox, which is going to have bloody everything because it's going to have PC games. So which platform would you rather have? And then so, like, I mean, out of those, to me, it's pretty obvious, but like, people still just know the name and they buy the PlayStation. I have no problem not having a PlayStation. I just don't. Like, right now, they're even putting their games on PC so I can even play their games. But if I miss the one game a year, is it really going to change much for me? No, not really. If it was GTA, okay, I might be like, oh, damn, I kind of want to play that, right? Nope. But it's not GTA, dude. They don't have I know people like think I try to pile on them, but frankly, just being honest, what do they have that's a top tier game? They don't have one. They just don't. If I look at the top
It's not
franchises,
Soros.
they're
Not
not there.
Soros.
They're just not there. They rate really well
Right.
because Pony Media, but
Facts.
unfortunately, reality is they don't sell to that level. They aren't the zeitgeisty games you guys think they are. They're just not. I'm sorry, but they're not. So like they don't have anything that pulls that way, right? Again, if it was a GTA, that's a zeitgeist game. That's obvious zeitgeist game, right? That would be something. They don't have it, right? The last like big one was like Elden Ring, right? Those are zeitgeist games that are just crazy. Hogwarts, something like that. They would need something like that. I don't. I just don't know what they have that like. Oh, God of War came out. Okay, cool. How much did that sell? It sold quite a bit for PlayStation. It doesn't sell to the level of a GTA though. It doesn't sell to the level of Witcher. It doesn't sell to the level of Hogwarts. It doesn't sell to the level of Call of Duty. It like there's just a difference in the way games are. If you want to be a zeitgeisty game, it's going to have to be one of those games that just everybody knows. And unfortunately, they don't have those. So am I going to sit here and say, "Oh, I can't play Intergalactic"? Like, oh, okay, fine. I'm not crying a tear for that. I don't care. I don't care. The amount of games I'm drowning in, I don't need that one game. That's just the way it is. So I again, if they had something that was that compelling, fair enough. But I don't know. So I can potentially see like I do care about the Switch because I like my Zeldas and Marios, but I'm kind of waiting on that. I haven't heard about those yet. Where's my Zelda and Mario? I haven't seen that yet. Kind of disappointing, but okay. I'm hoping that comes. But outside of that, I don't even turn my Switch on. It's just
Yeah. You know, it's funny. I literally brought my Switch down here strictly because Bloober sent me Layers of Fear, the final masterpiece on the Switch 2, and I streamed it. That's the most work that my Switch has gotten for a while. And I feel bad because like my wife bought me the Pokemon game and stuff because I normally am into them. I just haven't done it. Yo, it's getting no work. It's getting no work. But I have this here too, and maybe we can pivot for a second on this. Khalif also wrote a tweet because apparently this is what's happening out in these Twitter streets. He says a lot of people are talking about how this price hike incentivizes exclusives. And then he says exclusives don't matter when you can't afford the thing to play those on.
100%. That's the problem. The price of entry is too high. I'm sorry, but it is. For one game a year, it's just too high. It's just too high. When I can main on something else. That's just the way it is.
So true. So true. I agree with it. And the idea that people are trying to find a way to make this better in their minds by saying that this is a smart move because it's gonna incentivize exclusives, saying, hey, they have to make exclusives now so that people will feel justified to go buy it. Fam, it's not there's a difference between being able to and choosing not to and just not being able to. And what all of this has done, and just kind of being fair to the reality of this, is it's taking it, like you guys said, like you said, Hargeet, it's taking it from ever being an impulse buy. It'll never be something that people are like, yeah, fuck it, let me go get. Right? This is now a major decision. And in the world that we live in today, and I could tell you just coming from what I do and that side of life, I see that people are making decisions every day on what needs to be done in their lives and what they need to spend money on. And like, it's funny because you take things for granted. I was somewhere today where I bought lunch for myself and my son who came with me to do my work thing. And you know, I bought lunch at the event and yeah, it was expensive, but it is what it is. And then meanwhile, I talked to somebody who came by and you know, I spoke to them and they're like, "Oh, yeah, I can't buy food here because I can't justify spending that much money on food that I can go get at McDonald's or something like that for cheaper. So they were there and they didn't want to spend the money. And I'm not shaming them. I'm saying that people have to, like, people are making those types of decisions where they're like,
Yeah.
for convenience, like, I rather be hungry. This person was very hungry. They made it very clear to me that they were hungry, but they're going to go and go somewhere else after to go eat because at the place where they were going to eat, it was going to cost too much for them. And it's like, there's nothing. I'm not shaming these people. I'm saying, like, this is the world that we live in where people are like, fuck, I can't justify spending $20 on a burger and fries. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't justify that. And like, it's kind of a bitch. So yes, somebody looking at a PlayStation 5 Pro that was $750 and now it's $900 plus tax, plus the disc tray, plus the stand. It's like, fam, what the fuck? Like, yeah, remember, if you have a PlayStation 5 disc version and you have PlayStation 5 disc games, you have to buy the PlayStation 5 Pro disc version if you want to play the games you already own, right? So, like, it's a very real thing. This is expensive shit for people. So you kind of fucking that scenario up, and to add on top of that, trying to layer on an exclusive. Who the fuck in their right minds will want to limit themselves to whatever fucking fan base you can convince to buy this more expensive shit? I'm sorry. That's crazy. That's real crazy. Not feasible. Not feasible for most people.
Fun times.
Fun times indeed. All right. Let's hop into this real quick because this is the thing that hold on. Done fucked it up, of course, because I start freezing. Go here, and then go here. Okay. So let's talk about this and then we'll wrap it up. Let me take my chapter. Here we go. All right. So you heard me talk about it a little before, but yeah, there is a rumor about Game Pass, and this is the rumor. So Insider Gamer went ahead and put this out, but it's been, a lot of people were talking about it. New rumored Xbox Game Pass tier includes only first party games. I gotta tell you, that was not on my bingo card. If you asked me what I thought a possible new tier to Game Pass would be, I did not think that there would be a first party only tier. I think it makes sense in general. I haven't read into this, so I don't really know. We're gonna find out. I don't know if it includes day one or is only old first party games. I don't know. Let's see. Says a new Xbox Game Pass tier could be on the way, and this tier could be different than anything Microsoft has offered to subscribers of the service before. First spotted by Twitter user Redfix and reported by Windows Central, this new possible tier has the code name Tryon. What makes it different than others, however, is the games being offered. According to the data Red Fox found, it appears to only include first-party games from Xbox Studios. The games that were found through the data mine include Doom Eternal, Dishonored, Fable, Fallout, Gears, Halo, Hellblade. These are old, by the way, old as fuck games. These are not the new crop. These are the old games. Says hearing about new tiers for Xbox Game Pass shouldn't be much of a surprise. Earlier this week, rumors started to circulate that Xbox was considering reintroducing lower price options for players. There are also rumors about an ad-based tier being added for Xbox Cloud Gaming. Under new CEO Asha Sharma, the goal for Xbox is to make future consoles and products like Game Pass more enticing. Okay, so this is just shit to make the article longer. Okay, cool. Point is that this is the list that they found, and it's all old games. So the question is would it make sense for Microsoft to create a new tier of Game Pass that is for the hardcore Xbox fan base who just wants access to Xbox IP. I don't know. I don't know if that's very enticing, to be honest with you. And it's not because they don't have enough, but it's finite, right? Like Game Pass works because every month I'm getting a shit ton of games, whether it's first party or not. And not that Xbox doesn't deliver games. You're still talking about some months where there's nothing, some months where there's one, some months where there's two. But like this doesn't even talk about brand new games. Every game that's on here is old as fuck. At least, multiple years old at this point. So like I don't know who this is for. Like I don't know who this tier would be for if they did it.
Yeah, I
I
don't
mean,
know.
what do you think about this? So what are your thoughts if this is a real tier? Like what the fuck is this?
Are these not in like core?
It might very well be.
Right? Because
So,
like
but
to your point,
I
these are
mean,
old games.
but is this but is this like what's core? $10, right?
Yeah.
So what is that? So is this a $5 tier? Is this a $3 tier where you just
With
pay a little bit?
even fewer games, maybe, or I
Yeah,
don't
if
know.
it's just first party, because core is not only first party, core has third party as well.
Yeah,
So
it
if you
has
stripped it,
multiplayer games, so it's got to include online access, right? I mean,
which all tiers now include online access, right?
so this tier would also have to include that. So then, how would this be like better than core? So
It wouldn't be. It
I
would
don't
have to
know.
be cheaper than core. It would have to be
Yeah,
cheaper. So it would have to be at least $5, or I would say at the most $5 if you're only talking about these games. And again, it's finite. Like how many times are they going to update this list, right? Like how many is it after a certain amount of time? First party games go in there. Is it like the premier or premium tier that after a year the games will go into this tier as well? Is there value in that? Instead of like if you are like maybe they're just showing us the games that are already out that are in there. But let's try to imagine that maybe for the people who say, "Hey, I want day and date for I'm not day and date, but I want the newest first party games. I don't care if they're day and date." And those people will go into premium, right? But what if there was a cheaper,
well,
$5 or even if it was
premium
the
isn't
same
day and
price as
date, right?
core? No, it's a year. That's what I'm saying. So
Yeah,
if you don't need day and date, but you want the newest games, just not day and date, right? So you within a year, you want to play the newest Xbox first party game, right?
yeah.
If they did that where you only were getting Xbox first party games, and it's not just this old list, but instead every year you're getting, last year's hottest game, right? Which at
Gotcha.
some point will equal you every single month for the most part getting a new game from last year, right? Once that
So
ball
say it's like
rolls and keeps
15
going.
bucks somewhere between them, split the difference between premium and core or essential, whatever they call that one, right? So it's
Yes,
15 a
yes,
month
something like
and it
that.
just gives you Xbox games. Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
So
Maybe some people want that. I don't know. I mean, they have enough games. They do have a lot of games, but I don't know.
they
Like
do.
just seems like
And like I
why
said,
would you
right
not just
now
get
it wouldn't be
premium?
great. Yeah, I know. But that's what I'm saying. It would have to financially, it would have to be very low. It would have to be like 10, maybe a replacement for core. Like, hey, you want multiple types of games? Pay core or pay the same price but get only Xbox. I don't see that. It has to be its own price scale. And I would still say it has to be like $5 or $7. Like $5 or $7 gets you only first party games and you get the newest games a year later and that's it. Or if you want to get spicy, 2 years later. If you want premium, you get it a year later. So ultimate day and date, premium a year later, and this tier 2 years later, you get the newest release.
I don't know. I mean, as it is, there's enough tiers.
I mean,
I don't know.
it's clear Asha wants to get new tiers introduced that are cheaper. Not more money, but cheaper. They want new entry points. So think about it. If you're somebody who is saying to yourself, man, you guys, and this is a common thing that we hear from naysayers, right? Naysayers of Game Pass will tell you that it's filled with shit that they don't care about, right? So theoretically, in a world where you can have PlayStation people who say, I don't give a shit about, or whatever, whoever non-Game Pass subscribers say, I don't give a shit about these third-party games that are in Game Pass. I only give a shit about the first-party games, but I'm not going to pay $30 for Ultimate or $20 for, premium, and I don't want to get just old games all the time. You can introduce a tier for those people who are saying, I don't need the extra. I only want what Xbox is giving. Now, if you introduce that at a cheaper, if it's the cheapest price point, $7, $5, and you have the only thing you're getting in the subscription is any Xbox game that ever releases, not day and date, a year or two later, but it's, again, once you get past that year or so, you're going to get a constant feed of games coming into that subscription, as new games release over time, right? That might be a viable thing if she wants to get a new entry point for people. And if you want to focus that entry point on people who are going to be embracing Xbox's first party.
And only coming here for first party.
And only coming here for first party.
Yikes. I don't know. I'd have to see more details about it. But maybe there is a market for this. I don't know. It just doesn't, it's not enticing to me in any way, but
yeah,
maybe
but you're
there's a market for this.
You're core, right? So when she's talking about, I want to, I'm sorry. I mean, like, you're a core Xbox fan, right?
Gamer,
Like, you're already, they already have you. You know what I'm saying? You're in.
Yeah.
What she's looking at is, how do I entice people to come into Game Pass who are not going to want to pay the $10, $20, or $30, right? But I want to get them in, and I want them to become Xbox fans, right? Think about it. If you don't clutter their service with third-party games that takes them out of the idea of Xbox only, and you bring people in where they're just funneled in to Xbox experiences, and they're like, oh shit, I didn't even know Xbox made this game. Fallout 4, Fallout 76, Gears 5, these old games, and then you start getting the newer games dropped in there, right? I mean, I don't know. I feel like it could, for someone who's not in this room right now. Someone who's not in this chat looking at this. But instead, imagine if you're, Joe Blow on your Xbox, and you get a notification, play all, Xbox games released last year or whatever and beyond for $5 a month or $7 a month. I don't know.
Yeah. I
feel like that's something that a regular person might have the impulse to just be like, hold on, for $5, $7, I can get access to all these games. By the time I play through all these games, the new games are going to start dropping a year or two into it, right? Like, again, consider that most people don't play these games. Like, that's the part that you have to keep in mind, right? Xbox games are core games. Dishonored 2, that doesn't have 40 million players. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't, right? I feel like there can be a group of people who will look at this cheaper entry point to go ahead and allow them in, at a cheaper entry point. But it has to be cheaper. If you start flirting with the same price as other tiers, then you're creating confusion and chaos. It has to be a tier that's cheaper than all the rest and has to have a purpose. And I feel like introduction to Xbox, right? It's the intro to Xbox tier. which is just giving you a buffet of everything that Xbox has that made or they own, right? Anything under the Xbox umbrella is in that subscription. Again, either a year or two after, release.
Yeah, I mean it's a possibility. I'm also just thinking about the whole Netflix thing, where if they do something there, could they look at this tier and say this is just going to be bundled in, and it will be a very trimmed down list of games. Maybe it is all just first party, or maybe it's first party and a select set of third parties.
First party
And
and
that,
friends.
yeah, exactly, right. And that's what they do, is they have like, just like they did with the Ubisoft Plus Classics. Was that what it was called? Whatever the heck, the tier they created for PlayStation, Plus. Right. They added that tier for just that. Maybe they do an equivalent like that, like to your point, and they just have a curated smaller list, and they say, hey, let's bundle that into Netflix and see if that gives us more reach, and people maybe engage
Oh,
with some of these things.
so you're saying maybe this is not a tier necessarily for an Xbox console player, but instead a tier that they make just to go ahead and say, hey,
Let's bundle
this
it with
makes
Netflix.
sense to us. Let's bundle it with Netflix.
They can
This is
offer it,
what
right?
we
They can
give
still sell
Netflix.
it as a side thing. They can still sell it. But I'm wondering if that's what they're doing. They're trying to create a curated, because they have to have a price point that matches for what Netflix is doing, right? And say, let's have a swap of about this much value. So we'll give you this at this cost, that at that, whatever, right? So they'll do something. So it's got to be pretty cheap, to your point. It can't be like, $15, $20. It's going to have to be in that $4 or $5 range. And if they do that, and these are all older games, like they've already gained their value already, right? So what's it to them at that point? So throw it in and maybe offer it as a a $2 thing that Netflix pays them per month, and they get all these games like available to them. So maybe that is a good potential option, right? So I'm just looking at it from a different perspective to say, why would you do this? And from that perspective, it's a potential, right? Because to your point, it's a smattering of their games. It gives you a taste. Hey, maybe you like an action adventure, or maybe you like an RPG, maybe you like a first person shooter or a third person shooter, or a strategy game, whatever, right? We have all of them. We have a platformer, we have a zombie game, we have an online multiplayer game, et cetera, right? So all these are available to you. Try it out, right? Try it out. Maybe they give you a spattering of different capabilities that they have. I don't know if they'd ever include some of the older Call of Duties as well, but maybe not a
I
bad
would
idea, right?
imagine at
Just
some
throw it
point.
in there, right? And say, all right,
Agreed.
let's give you something, right? And maybe that's the reason. And that way, for a small amount of money, and they can do that kind of value exchange with Netflix to say, just bundle this into your Netflix subscription. So if you have the highest tier of Netflix, you just get this, right? And see what happens, right? And maybe it works. I don't know. That would be where this would make a lot of sense to me. Because now, to your point, you're trying to gain a market you don't have. You're going after customers you don't already have. So yeah, I could totally see that. I think if you already have an Xbox, you've probably already played these games. Right?
Maybe if
Right.
you had Game Pass. If you don't have Game Pass, you could. I mean, look, we gotta also keep in mind. I know we joke about PlayStation, right? Because they're the casual box. But the reason we say that is because there's just way more casual people who own a PlayStation than there are
Yeah,
hardcore.
than the
But let's
Xbox,
be
yeah.
clear, on Xbox, there's
It's the same thing.
absolutely
Yeah.
100% people who are just casual, who have never touched any of these games at all. So, for them, it doesn't entice them to do a $10 or $15 Game Pass thing, but $5
Yeah, but it's
might
likely they have
might
Game
tickle
Pass
them.
Core, right? Because they're probably playing online. So they
Not
probably
if they're
already have
playing
Game Pass
Fortnite
Core.
or free to play games, right?
Yeah, but that was recent, right? So it's very likely that they still have Game Pass Core or Xbox Live Gold, right? So they've probably seen a lot of these games. But to your point, if they don't want to play it, they don't want to play it, right? Some people just don't care. They're not going to play any of these things. But it is possible you can attract more customers in a different arena. And I think that's an interesting way to look at it, right? Is put this onto something like Netflix. I think they're gonna do something with Netflix. I think that's gonna happen. It's just a question of what's the value exchange that they're gonna make between Netflix and Microsoft to figure out how they gear that up. But this would make a lot of sense to me over there because you don't need to have every third party there. You need to have a smattering of your stuff to get people enticed. Then you could always say, hey, you want to uplift? Come on over. You can buy Ultimate. You can get everything. All these other games. We give you 75 plus, games every year, brand new day and date. Blah, 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 blah. 500 plus games, whatever, 400 plus games it's available to you. Enjoy, right? You can have all that. But, at least this way they can hook you and say, hey, do you want to try any of these? If they're good, like, there's a whole bunch of other games, give it a chance, right? So I can totally see it in that case. But yeah, I think like I don't know if it works for people who already have Game Pass because they already have Game Pass. So,
yeah, it's
I don't know what
definitely
the
an
percentage of
additive
people.
for other people. It's definitely
Exactly.
just trying to reach other people. Maybe if the question is, do they include cloud with this? Does
Oh,
$5
they have
allow
to. They
you?
have to. It has to include cloud because if
So if
it's
it includes
Netflix,
cloud, that makes it even more, right? Because then
yeah,
you
'cause
can
if it's
reach it from
Netflix, it's
anywhere.
got to be pick up and play, right? If it's Netflix, it's got to be pick up and play. And the question is, what's the interface going to be, right? Are they going to?
On the TV, it has to be pick up and play. If you
Yes.
play Netflix on your console, then you can play it normal, theoretically, if you go that route, or if you
Right.
watch
And again, I'm
Netflix on
not
your
looking at.
PC.
I see. Maybe a PlayStation console.
Yeah, if
Um.
you have a PlayStation console, you're watching
Oh
Netflix,
shit!
you can
Can
play
you
it there.
imagine?
I mean, that'll be a way, right? I don't know if Switch has Netflix, but if they get Netflix, you can play it there.
I don't.
You
I
know,
don't think they
that
put
could be
Netflix on Switch, but
that could be Game Pass's like Xbox's Trojan horse. It's like,
well, that's
yeah,
what I was gonna say.
Netflix
It's
is
like,
on
oh my god.
PlayStation. Now you can subscribe to Game Pass on your PlayStation, a version of it through Netflix. And it is, literally to your like point, reaching a group of people who may not be familiar with it. Like, to be clear, PlayStation is getting some of these newer games that are coming out, but Xbox is not going back and fucking
So,
porting Gears 5 to these motherfuckers or Halo 5, right?
Mr. Xbot says, "Have you guys not played Red Dead on Netflix?" So it's
I
already
haven't
there.
tried it, but I saw it there. Yeah, it's there.
So I don't know, Mr.
Part
Xbox, if you
one,
have a
right? Not part two.
if you have a PlayStation, can you run that Netflix game on your PlayStation?
That's actually a great point. You could check on your Xbox if you could see if you can
I
just.
don't think like Microsoft doesn't stop, right? Xbox will not block you from doing stuff like that, but PlayStation is petty. And so, so they will block shit, right? So
Yeah.
I'm curious if they allow Netflix gaming at all, right? So if that's the case, because what's your point? This basically is the way to get Game Pass onto PlayStation because it'll be full bore, right? But yes, they'll give you this one, but guaranteed there's going to be an option that says Netflix plus full Game Pass as a subscription that you can just get as part of your Netflix, and they will just put that inside the Netflix shell, and blah, there you go.
I mean, bro, it's a possibility, man. It's a possibility. And you know what? Nothing's stopping Netflix from updating their app on these different places after some shit like this goes live and make this a thing. Now, I'm gonna get Fillmore real quick because this is something that's interesting. Oh, and Powerballs actually makes a point that Netflix just raised their prices.
Yeah.
So, there's a whole variable of shit that could be going on. But Fillmore says they could do a $5 tier, like C-Money suggests, but also let them do 2-night rentals at $5 a game. Fillmore, I gotta tell you, I forgot about that idea of shit. But what if they just go ahead and bring back rentals? I mean, that's theoretically what you're doing anyway, right? But what if you could just rent individual games? like $5, like he suggested, 2 nights. You get 5, like bring back the old way. $5, you rent a game for 2 nights, any game you want. The game makes a cut, and you get a cut. Like the Xbox gets their cut, but the developer or the publisher gets the cut as well. Is that feasible? Does that think something that's possible? Getting back into the rental game?
For what, like discs or like just the game itself? You just
No. Just digital. You just pay your $5 and you can rent it as opposed to just like when you get a movie, right? You can rent the movie or buy it, right?
I'm trying to play this in my head. Like, so basically, this would be a game you can't. It's not already in Game Pass. You want to just rent the game instead.
Well, even if it's in Game Pass, but you're not a Game Pass subscriber, right? So instead of saying I'm going to pay $10, $20, $30 a month, and the game might not be in Game Pass. If it is, that might be a different option. But still, for people who don't want to get involved in hey, I'm locked in every month, and they just say, hey, I
don't know, man. That's an interesting one. I don't know. I like the economics of that would have to be figured out. Right? I don't know, because like when it's digital, is it like then that store buys the whole copy and then rents it out? Like, how does that work? And how does that?
Well, I think you're assuming. I think he's just assuming the Xbox store, like just on your Xbox, like normal. Obviously, the game, it would depend on the game, right? If it's a short game, then clearly you can't do that.
The publisher would have to, or the indie developer would have to agree to that. Then I guess, right? Because I don't know how else that would work. But either way, it's possible. But I don't know.
I mean, this is the thing with Asha right now. She's gonna do some shit, and that's why we're like you're able to kind of have these discussions because we really don't know which direction she's gonna go with shit. But she's going in directions. You know what I'm saying? She's making moves. Moves are happening. It's just where they're gonna fall in place. Right?
I mean, I kind of like the original idea of a small sampling and just bundle it in for a very cheap amount and find that value, right? And make it so that it's something Netflix wants to do. And and Xbox can work that deal with them. If you go too far with it, it makes it complicated, right? I just think this is a simple way.
Especially if it's older games like this, especially you consider maybe 2 years old or whatever, like games that already ran their course. This is just extra money, right?
Yep.
Like there's no loss here for them. I don't know. It's interesting. I mean, listen, we are in a very interesting place right now when it comes to gaming. It really is, sky's the limit. We don't know what they're gonna do. We don't know what moves they're gonna make. Xbox is not resting on its laurels. Xbox is out here saying that they are going to shake up things. They don't give a shit, right? So I don't know. Very, very exciting to see what might happen. Any last bars on this, Hargeet, at all?
Yeah, I mean, like as you said, lots of interesting things happening. I hope they keep the pedal to the metal here and just keep coming up with new things, innovative ideas, and try out new stuff, right? Let's disrupt the market.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, guys, this is where we're going to wrap this motherfucker up. Thank y'all so much for coming out, rocking out with us in this late night shift edition. Next week we should be back, to a normal situation. But I do appreciate you guys coming to rock with us. Thank you to everybody who super chatted. Shout out to the homie Spartan661 who went ahead and gifted 50 fucking members. That's fucking dope, man. Appreciate you. There's 100 members in 2 days, man. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you, man. It really means a lot for the support, bro. Please, I really, really do appreciate you guys. Thank you all so very much for the support. Remember, we'll be back Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern time with the Night Quest podcast. It's going to be a fun show, man. We'll see what fun things we have to talk about. There's still more things that we didn't even cover now that we'll be able to chat about on that one. But definitely come through with that. And yeah, should be the return of our game streaming show next week. We doing it live. Hopefully we can be back to that next week. We got quite a few games we got to play. So definitely excited for that. Look out for our review of the Wow Cube. Is our first piece of tech that we're going to be reviewing. Saw them at GDC, had a preview with it, and they sent us over a Wow Cube to review. So we're definitely going to have that up. It should be up this upcoming week. So and with that, of course, we have our boy Hargeet, Johnny, in the building, man. Thank you for coming, spending this late night with us. Why don't you let everybody know where to find you, what to do to go get your book and all the good stuff you got going on, brother. Let them know.
Yeah, if you want to check out my book, shop.china.us, go check it out. And check out my channel. I'll probably be uploading videos from PAX. I'll go in tomorrow and then start uploading probably Sunday, maybe a little later. I'll put some videos up of whatever I see out there. And
Try to play Halloween, bro.
Yeah, I'll
try to play Halloween.
Yeah, check out. I'll try to chat up with Miles Dampier. Right, he should be representing that over there.
Yep.
For those who remember Miles. Anyways, and then I'll be on with Web Dave, Sunday. Check that out, 7 p.m. US Eastern time.
Sweet.
So we'll have fun. Next week is Good Friday. Is it correct?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
It is.
All
right.
That
well,
things, but we'll see.
I mean, I don't think it's gonna do anything for me, but we're not gonna be eating meat or anything on the show, which should be good. But if it does, let me know. All right, guys. Well, listen, thank y'all again so much. Appreciate all of y'all. And with that, we're gonna go ahead and end the show the way we end every single show. Doodle! We're done. Until next time, you're intruding.